Yamwa kwa Badwam TV Badwam eso emrani adaje a wode ama yenti yada se yeshase de kase na bromoni ombatie wo so ebi eni ya chi nipa mienu wonmo akobro okada ride bi a wonya mfie du nwotwe eno ne nsem ena no pay yede bro Adom TV Badwam kase share live on Facebook/Adom TV Extra Go TV 119 DSTV 280 uko YouTuber search Adom TV too na AdomOnline.com semi ene semafoforo bi wo media fia amankwa tamaklo afia ni de biente said en sem no etie Upper Dentra West District Police Command no one watch nipa mienu bi a osusu say abemo mfiedu enwotwe a na ne video ne nam ententan yi so na ya bro no ewo dia so wo Central Region won benim ho bi na mom de odi makotene pa ne de wadwane ya womuguso ehwehwe nsam no eni
Apadincha West District Police Command ne nipa mienu wachire wono ne nyina enam kasafoni bia babeto monten so a wono hu se abemu bi wodi mfinsha no edun otwi prage bi wodi aso wono eye no ayakayaka de wo mfimfi mantem no emu ene wonipa wodi sa ensemoni yankasa de woneti aka enwura wono hwehwe no nanso yade hwehwemu de ekoso we no abra amanbofo Mohammed Wadudin Rasco ene Apadincha West District Police Commander Chief Superintendent Bernard Nuga Yatwe enkomo kire se asemisi ye joada kita wonsa bosomene de toso dumiensa wo chirima hwehwemu kakra wono aye ehunu se wonipa wode wonsa ekeka ne din ene ya aboache no tomanfo pina bonensamane se kilentia ya edika kase wotwi prage yi ebi wode aso edikan ekokasa ye wo bebi se wonipa ne din ene inoka omanfo pina efene se awoya wono ne niti akanwura no obewone sekan we ena kilentia ya ye kan ho aseminso echirima wakasa obewo inoki sikan enam ntreni bia obo no emre bia etwemu nanso ewo hwehwemu kakra posifo aye echirese anyade asa nipa mienu basabasa yibia ewo wono mu entem police commander de atudwa biom se perpetual wono woton aduane ewo dia so dwom ho eye inoka odiniti akan wura mu enkanchima dada wono ho enakwa kire inoko no se kilentua se wonyana obedi ne bone aposifo aso Emmanuel Frimpon ne perpetual epechia wono mo bo amanhwehwemu ahodo atimi akoso abra posifo ekopimu wo Emmanuel Frimpon ayachine yi efia wono mkoye nhwehwemu kakra wo ho wono mkohu nu bone bi te se tramo pump action etu ene etu emuba ewo wono wono asesa no nyina ebu amanhwehwemu ahodo nso etumi akoso we no wono modo to manfo wo empotemu ho nyina nim se daroma wa wonsemi bitumi aboa na ino wono mo akire no afabra ebedum wono mo
Yabakoso na ya wa Apadincha ye West hwa nadmo for ne volunteer group won mapa won ho antoma o mensin mo sebe ya won betumi aboa mpofiri mo putupru na BBC a won so betumi aboa jinipa enkwa
Yamama volunteers who are West Regiment individualistic teamwork so the point say we move individual we should move as a group same the natural disaster volunteer group under the command and direction of the district director. Now, disaster prevention, mitigation, risk reduction, and management. Upper West. A very resilient Upper West district, and with the support from members of the disaster management committee and the DC, like I said, who say
Ewona Apadincha West Managing Director no social Nadmosu James Adabogo ene amanbofo Mohammed Wadudin Rasco etwetwe enkomodin semwesi ene tuja
sia mojito so sembo boama yakotia disaster wa Apadincha West uma obi entenda yenyina yamfa yahonji
Newmont for Development Foundation ene Kenya say number 1 traditional counselor and who have mountain mono the social bofoma wo besi College of Education and who sikano shown 1.9 million Ghana cedi wo Kenya say number 1 sabe ye betimi aboa mampuntu akoso
de pushi yana na osekofi abri ene say wodwene ne manfo ho ne kuro titru pa ye ne kuro emrante ne maba we wom sabe ye ombenya adwuma ye because school ya ebe edin faso bebre na bebre community no eni kuro no eche se nipa ebenya adwuma aye no edoso afa sika so beba kronim ahoho beba kronim akọ school nti bibi biara ebeton yebe aduane ni nyina no ediska beba.
Ewana general manager de Manu Montaha for South Mines Alex Kofi Enin etwetwe enkomo wo bo na no hemfo so abaso sende wo madisia won semehia won muntia watimi de won toma bo won dia no ama adisia bia yi won mo ba be sibi ewo ho ama enima so timi akonkan
di kan me de na sekasi ama nanom o hwebo tire project ye chia ene ye purpose as new month airline pepe se be bibiara ye adwuma no ye be hwe se insunsan so papa ebe ba ho na empo se ye adwuma ne ye kwa sansunsan so papa na atena ho afebo enti we ye project ba ko among many of projects aye ba be ye we so that between now and the future no insunsan so papa be ba kronim school for be ba ha ahoho be free mantem nyinara Ghana nyinara be ba ha no on be ba beje adesua wa ha na omde apagya Ghana wo hwe project ya enye Kenya se man ho ade ebeboa Ghana man nyinara ne wiase afa na nyinara eno na yen as new month ye gina ho ema
America say fango bono ekosoro 13.7%. Eno aka ho bia ma shankafo wono esu echiremu se benya hawo ewo wadwuma eso.
Petrol na ya tumne de ebe affect yen pa because sisi ai olodu na kwa o ba kro nya bi ma na wa sell petrol no de akwa kodu danso ma last stop na wa san ba empty na petrol ya san tum eti ebe ya ba na sa taxi bi no de toto so 1 city no ebe ya omunyin free so na petrol ne mra for man ne yeso so kwa yeso nya bi e de bi ato bi ma ere ne amadi because se oba corner oba empty we say kai see I want say car say ba ko kran ko e so ta say oba no disca na to fu e na wo angasa o ye adwuma na bibia ne ho esa eno na ka ho na ya na accident si bebre no because onipa no obekọ no onya bia odi gidigidi sa okwan mu sa abo ho na afi akonya accident na wanya problem eniti be stress petrol ni de omo hwe so maintain petrol no amana ba fo mama na yenso so ekwa yenso etimanya bibi kakra de abehwe yire ne ma
fo na wa to me de high drivers no too much is ya obetumi aye adwuma since 3.5 okwa agota de 5 million adwuma wa ye na no endu sa aska nimpo entenje se odi bi shishem odi bi ba shishem na nkwara so ofie obakọ no wa ho ya ska kra na wo da to fie ente high pa mama ye bre ose
Wasankomo we munti Executive Secretary Chamber of Petroleum Consumers COPEC Dankanwul Amwa na nei wasi aban nkebe ya want strategic storage fund a betumi abwa na fuwo ntumu bebre no atimi abas form ni chiremu eni
be bosome ba ko bosome mienu ntemu nie refineries ewo oman ni mo no eye akase mienu Central ne Temoyo refinery obeti yese omonsa aka crude ye chinchin mu Jubilee crude ye de bi eko Central ye de bi Temoyo refinery mejidi se eye anamontu a eboa but aban eni nko bebre nso na nkoba ne se ye de ye crude na komasa akeke na emomo no benefit na o se omanfo ni nya no they didn't get it nti although a good step no ye best resa aban so ani nko na more cargos enko na cargos na ekono aban so should also sit and look at the direct benefit Ghana for benya from say yenya ye chinchim yenya ye fango a ye tu ewo keep 3 points sebe ye mfa nkwa abroche ni akochinchim na emom ye chinchim ewo ha na ye chinchim ne sen ama Ghana for enya ho
Achachefo nkabom ko ahodo ama fa wages and salaries commission panifo na woche baako onhwe na won koma won modie ye won conditions ahodo bi a wonye ni ye no onyama won tesa na woche na chire won tehwe ya obete wonka
president and abadi yanim and I can say this year we should expect any major negotiation on our collective agreement. Nti nia vice president kan no na je say ya dia aban aye na adwen say this year on two year kwetiam on ya bibia amfa ya collective agreement. Nti ya hwa say yama aban ho say teacher for ye bra ebedu ho no ye nkofo no beka say yen yakoye niama bi a omuntias enti say
Ghana Mampani John Dramani Mahama Sanshye nyina eguna kwan emu verification assessment ene enyuma hodo se yede mpatade ebema de hia kosomo dam sutade na ye bietu mu nya hawo ewo nso.
The resilience of the people of this region has been tested in recent years. The spillage of the Akosombo and Kpong dams caused significant hardship for many families, affecting homes, farms, businesses, and livelihoods across several communities. Government has remained fully engaged in addressing the aftermath of that unfortunate event. The necessary verification, assessment, and administrative processes relating to compensation are being concluded, and I wish to assure all affected people that government remains committed to ensuring that the process is finalized fairly, transparently, and responsibly. Once this process is finalized, the Minister of Finance made allocation in this year's budget to start the payment of compensation. If the money allocated is not enough, allocation will be made in next year's budget to continue the payments.
Mampani na guso ya wokasa watchre mo say big push road project no ye hwe ni mo say December 2027 de na won mo wie den so ohwe nkrata so ne say de ne ekro no a wanhwe bi kura ye be wie ansa na December 2027 no edu so.
All these major roads, especially the highways, some of them were bituminous surfacing. We're changing them to asphaltic concrete so that they will last longer than when we just put bitumen on them. So these will make those roads last longer. I'm happy to see the progress of this work. Like he said, all of them are ahead of schedule. We have up to December 2027 to finish these roads, but the rate at which they are going, it is likely that much earlier than the end of next year we'll take over these roads. It means you'll be able to ride very comfortably if you're coming to Ho, which is the capital of the Volta region, and you're coming from Accra, you'll be able to drive very comfortably to Ho. And it means that the capital...
Yenya so na Adom TV Badwam kase na ha be makwan ya no pay ye de si ye da semre ne adaje a wo de ma ye na wotwe mo ya de pa bonsem aho ya mi hyawo ye da mo ase ye gusua ye guso ye toaso e de wo bonkrata AdomOnline agudie mo nsem health tips no enso edi kan de abromo so de ye ne da no zoom no so ye active na phone line no so nti be bia wo bia so person zoom in so person ye phone in nyina akwanya no ho me do for kwasinsi abote me mo ache
eviam joso
bia boko
ben bia nya boko
ade
enu asa nkwanhye si wo kono wono me why there bio ye de nyama edi agro
serious
the rate at which a driver for be the Ghana for be 0.8 agro
13
be posso say semi overtaking
serious
ade but mesre Mr. President yem pushing you making sure say from here next year that's two going Ghana need be obenya driver's license be testing for drugs
mental
Ghana need be because I know if you move back we say a doctor for 17 a fight with mental disorder
mental no dey say you doctor akwasi o say Canada
yeah mesre
enipa 100 jaho mu 90 dey
you making sure say your next driving license be Ghana need be obey driving license be will test for drugs. Yet the Sabam na ya gra na affairs oh ra for there or sa sira and o tim come or the kakra go hunu ma no tim ko and na sa na sem yo when see driving ya paso
hard drink
ni pathetic
ehwa
no mo
ehwa
I know who said na on imitate be count say you see omo would be be kan why say
na no omo na kai dia ye
ade
so survive e kra no adum bi keke
any ya wo sa
just basa e dia samwa
and so when the ka some kwa dia say no ano
say asem we so maka say ade si a hu say ya dwen na ko nipa afiri mu ne nipa epra no so ti adroba fo ne yenye omo hye yade je omo license free won sama make sure say ampa omo drive VBM because omo kum nipa kasa na we nyina nketwa but ye be he ne saa ba we mu nam se tu ni nyina ko omo koy drivers tu omo koy but edi asama edi asama anti accident nsem be ne yenteye then so still nkwanhia busu ko na ya woda no
me kwaba
13 13 de ho no a
se ni peti konkra ni peti da na ne body eda
they were
overtaken overtaken it's too bad. It's too bad. And at time because yes, so sa na say echo na seko. The rate at which a accident e kum ni power my mono. And you too much. We seem not to attach any seriousness to it. She covered by ye. The real man nyina sorry yet to ensure say e make fear say. But one of the greatest COVID in this country a car accident. Now, my phone na one portable be the air. Cause it looks as if how quite now we say. Now, what you be a car conscious?
Entina, so almost say kono wo kwan no so be year to baby. I think so. Also, on penny 4 years and one munim fa a chronechi o se chroni baby.
It's too much. It's too much.
I'm not kwan am so kwan now yam shisho.
Yam shisho.
Senya me do kɔ do ba no wadana se because ade obi ne carelessness nti wo kura wo kɔ yie kura no. Ye ba be bu na mi ba be kun afiri ati asfo asa.
Why?
Ade asama.
Why?
Yeah, na ye can be assessy baby. Omonte, ade okoka news vox poppy. Driver ni ba because I say fu no bo na dinti. I no more pentana
on to the aeroplane. We so can we na ka ya lines of finish. We driver ni o cars as me. O can we na ka lines of finish because say we adwen no e challenge papa. Na nyese se bi no bone na bi am no no the stations ahodo a. Enye no bone na drivers bi am no no eti stations ahodo a. That's the Quality Control Commission. And you push so obi okuta etuo bia no. Ye man that for drug test. Nipa ba ku kuta tuo. Driver ni ba kokum di pentumiensa on the spot.
And I wa no so
say
e bia be ka ho.
E bia you say of course do 9. 14.
Kum nipa 14. Na nipa ba ku kwakura te say.
These are the people who say started drug test on them. Ni you say enubone ben wo mo jani mu. That Quality Control Commission, we can't sit on this.
I mean, who my general pentama.
It's too much.
And not when you drive, when you come, I don't know, pack a cacrana one now. Now, would you want to miss him? And now they want to mean cheating, and now, want to be Mrs. When you come, even from if I and can have also free cocoa, coffee, and when you come, they say, it's your den and by a side over for. The be a mecha. Yeah, you couldn't drive the car, say 2 quantum near day. Yeah, papa, yeah, uncle's room. No, I don't pay a sorry at check it. So, compo one who know, Monfro or more, that you won't quay yam when in Caffio, Yassi or Fee. Nay, young Moncassa. Any Moncassa. Yanya bon some boys now, or bet Chica who say baby at no bear driver, no, Mummy and Yais Adiano. Mummy and Yai, Mummy and in Nahone, any pump. I don't pay no suffer a Adom Daqua, no walker. Also, call be my swap, hey, with Michicas in the free. Then call for Mumba has say, one more cars home to say, you're quite it. Or no, quite ye free, we free, and she ha. What being tea or crow muno of you be my so bad, how won't you grand free her and call a drama crowd won't call. Because speed the bine, a ye overtaking bine, never be your kind of son. Drink, can't go out to say, I take the car with a free road, and so that's why you're the
ding. Ho, e de me dia agro do.
Yan kwa AdomOnline dot.
E de me dia agro do. E de me dia agro do.
Ne phone lines no so unya ho afre bre mu. Na sports no so be ba health tips no so. Ye de bebro na enen so na ye democracy is not for sale no. E ne democracy is not for sale. Ye nton ye democracy no there be. E ye kira wadweme so men kira madweme so mesi na wo ba no. Anyanya bia wo de mrahye bedwa akonya no hye ne nsa. Obetumi aboa me ye constituency wo no. E ho ayeyi ama ye na. What the amemo no shanen sa obetumi aboa mo man yetumi akoya nim se de ye kɔ no na wo hia sa nipa ni sika nsa na what take sa decision no eni kwan se ye ton ye democracy no ebra no aso se de wonim adwuma no safata so obetumi aye no ne ye fatumi no shanen sam ne ye nyai because enne democracy de aye no obi kura TV no de ba beto obi adwene obi efie ansase ene kas ye ni say ye be ko say
it's in 4 p.m. pepe Otakra the library e yire nhia hodom na entrance de ni nkomo enko betimi afa so akaba me kabe de twamfi nhia aduasa ye mi say how one ye timi masa akaba me kabe no awie peyo e de ama ye nyina
desre mo ye twam nyina
eye adwenkyere 4 p.m. Takra the library
obia mrabra be
no eba so brada be come to our yes
o mo no hihye kyire no ka brana so be ka so far as anya tabdidie
na say Ghana na committee ye bie floor obi wa asem obetumi aka onka hwe ye wie meeting na asa say for me groups asem we die sem nyana ka be yes it can be abensi so Thomas can be ye wie onka wa question say anten na asem efia die
so woni di atam nko na wo kyerɛ wadwen obi anya wo hwe
kyerɛ wadwen
obi nipa na se ye dɔɔso ada na ya kyerɛ oso masi ne ye nkyɛ wo ɛsono wo ɛsono no amon so amudidi mpanimfo atam no sɛ
na ba ye so ko dem afi back yes
na me sɛ na me hu ye mpo na me tie bi na me sɛ wow
ne
democracy ne bi ani o like democracy ne abuse no. Oh, and beginning now, make you point.
Yeah.
I think kaka point no.
Ghana because remember na be do so say atenia manekas manifest na afọ kan will make sense.
Yes. O kan wasam e bia ban otiso ne me bi ho wo ye.
Enko ye kasema mpeni ma wa ban enko ye.
Eno ano enko ye.
This will din atem. This all can someone enim the 20 so.
Hey.
Ba fierce ye can say so mesre. Mumye me way as the way we have been fighting corruption. Say and this free so answer and we say and we have a chain coffee betu. So be so one you office or in this yafa. You can't send me good penifums na send fata. Mumye can say because we end this now and people need to know on your baby jino. Yama mrando mu nyina se be yakasantwi kasatenie ya hye mabunu no e be free honom. Ne ye se cross some dodo.
Enyo.
Eye you cross some dodo. Ghana ni ba ya tete wa free fie. Nya ayi data trace si woni mu a be depend mu akogina woni mu a ka se nim ka se akọ efele
na me se to ntimi ntwa no ho kora
masa why
na mu me enfa buo mu ye mpanimfo enye obi akeko eho mampani o omani ni ti na wote hode camera si wanim di na tam na hemfo modi ahemfo atam because of democracy
men na nyaadwe
one ne nyaadwe nti also odidi na tam
to se di na tam asala ho atome na se dey ka on kwa say we yes we dey ko do headquarters. This what you could do at times.
Be careful.
The 77 nipa dream pada utrim. Sa kwesi asma keme no nya adwen. Me mo be ma kire ma adwen. Also de ene say. Me kire ma adwen ma ni watem. Ade na be respond to you adwen kire na. This would matter.
So di atem.
A whole president of the land.
Me nhwe what?
Ti man penia tem ane quite a sabio when nipa.
Enye. Na wo didi na tem a ma friend like ho won so nya dai. Na so wo mu no. Hey, obi a wo ba, wo yire, wo kuru.
Sa. But for bua se se nya sem ne kapa.
Ya do fo no pe ye mo achen.
Nana bua ma.
Enio. No what is saying?
Ya wo ye.
Adom.
Fem bua ma adom ka se fi ko praso.
Oh, okay.
Okay. We dey we first timer.
Ya bi bua ma adom frɛ.
Ah, okay, okay.
Nya da bia.
Oh, okay, okay.
Oh, ya da ma si.
Yes, sir.
Ma fam di e de ama aman no.
Yes, sir, that's it.
Ni America dia to modie no so eye enkwansia no so se ebehia pa se ebeye nhwehwem e dia fa adrabafo no adwin mu momani ene ne ka ho nyina esrem mum sa ade ne ho dawru pa emfaman ena em se kono ho ekwan no na o ka se ebi e wa kire ho a mpese omuyi efa ho bypass no no kware matena kono ho da na e da kire ho kufo nka e be ye no wanya anye nti se ni ame se won se monka anchire president na omodia na bypass no a president kufo a start ye no so abanda ni nyina wajja sa yi ni ye enu nyina kan kuma si kwan nye mi di ta mo de ka fa so kuma kwan nye kura o
ya da se
so ha ye kwan so
ye nko Samson ho
Samson okay
ai o Johnny o Zoom ye do fo no pe ye mo achen
ya oba pa mi je so Oni mini akwesi mo hote say.
Nyame adu ho ye pa Samson.
E de nyame ase. Kakra pese me kan ye kwanhia no. Nem say akwesi mi sende video bi brel.
Okay.
Okay. E hase kwa fa so get lances ni nye easy. A principal na hwa hunu say afi ekwa mo fa so nya sika no eso ate. Enne omode 12 euro at 1 kilometer. Speed bi abeko bia no. It is 150. Now oko sister any for 10 times 12. No ko tua kan 58 ho. Ene wa wasen. Eti obi kaka are very careful, extremely careful.
Yeah.
But Ghana ni de ye gilanses ya obi tifio na kaja bre no. Ye cars ye ncheki car. Ase wo do car ko curia e control. The way be say owo car no ye mbehwe. Eti fault bo ho sisi na yi aba. Ghana so de enya nsa. Ka bia beba port ya twa no export bia no. E kire se eni kwa se road. Eso be si kwa bedru Ghana ene no mde pema.
Okay.
Because e home use. Eso yes utre mo bewu. Eso yes Ghana is home use. It's mo me ahwe ni control san dem ani yi.
Yeah, Samson ya da se pa yanko Ben.
Yanko Ben ho.
Ben, good morning.
Yanka.
Meton kapal Stevania ko sin sam hoye die.
Ya hoye pa.
Ya da mias mamin chapter shin tin for mu bu ejuma pa anape. Na sanim si ko no ya dia o masema me kan ani se o pa win pa ani Palm Junction kwani so kwani ye kwani se contractor ye di joina chene san so hwe na sa kwani no me mai san se ma for prepare na men sa ko ani ho kwani na mo no ani ja kwani na inte se ma ko so hwe mo me da mo
papa yanko bibi ho na Eric nso to aso ba Eric ya mo achen
ba yo so
that's it bibi ano pa ya mo achen bibi yanto wonka
ba cho mute.
Sister Biampa Chomo to say,
Yamia,
Black we see Yada Yamias and Eddie on Offeno. I didn't sort it, Monsieur to my fepa. Sister Biampa last Mecacho say, last month, Mikokumasi by the for car no 4 o'clock, but I dare say I'm much for and say, and then accident is Sakuhana so.
Yeah.
Na Garden penny for yeka I saw mutu regional minister was anti region born home modern pa and regional minister or eastern region born home modern sa kwani yo mumie no kwai ye business o mo hwe no mo ye kwani mai titi na kwana da wa ndc abako mpp abako ndc abako na kwani da ho ade kure wo mo ntimi mo nye no mo nye na nipa ewu tisefia na mo ka dras no enye se agrodio na prosifo mesro mo omohwe saade wo se nipa ni 60 achikura wa bopa no se police no du a wa train nsaje ni sika na oko
awesome
just dress no mo dididi edi num suo di num bibia no na ma mo speed ekoba and it's almost started saade ndia nka be 70% drivers are omunko adwuma I bet my job
bibi
that's na zoom for no we de yanya sports no yanyina yanya sports no ye sports no ye beba
betwa so
afi ya ba betwa zoom no eso ne course no aka no ti kasi ejebo
enene democracy
is not for sale.
Democracy is not for sale. Fridge, you know, no TV, no.
Yeah, sir. Also, with TV, the whole constituency, Chamobia.
International me electoral college, them Nanka, so with my Chamobia. You know, yeah, and some delegates, you know, education, you know. Yeah, so it was your one baby, and so to Nagas, I didn't want to right. My man, was so DBS Industries Limited came one up in a Basanson Franco Trading Enterprise, so can Franco, dear, I come once a match of phone, be a one. Yeah. Original, you are sure to say what original phone, but you are what to pass over coffee or charging a craft phone. I say, she with me that Chicosacra. And yet, baby, and never pa. I'll say, ah, who are me make it time day, which say, ah, me any waiting, no, any waiting, difference home. That's why they are not trust of a paper. Aha, Fumbo also, a surgeon and women, you know, and Monsaba, ne a fee, Adam Consaba, who has any pam you know Saba, no one in a coagin and one, eh, Fum Ben got on his arm. Eh, Franco, the yes, I've phone been on. Oton papa now DBS Industries Limited Badwam ya boy dinosaur Pablo ya mabena pare wotwe and producers. Now, yeah, brother, it is now the final of 2026 FIFA World Cup. About third place in the China. Wayne and Edgy, the bronze medal. France versus England. Watch now at 9 p.m. Now, it's 7 p.m. on Sunday, and then so Argentina versus Spain. You have the road to the final. Now, Yamra. Well, and so I want summoning now through to the final. Spain and Argentina road to the final. And the Spain and Argentina, you know, I know bad now. Ochina third place live on Adom TV. Now, if you final, so live on Adom TV. Tiana Wakash and so Ediamai. But on Sunday, you are wanting Adom TV as some pair of Adom FM. You are wanting. Mamma to agree with Tiani and Co. I'm a summon and important Pokwase, Mobodi. No, in and around a whole year, we are coming live. Yes, this is it. A KG Pop, KG Pop, KG Pop. I'm a summon 3 Junction. Yes, a whole year, but the KG Pop. A whole year, coming to name by a boy. Say, I chat here, say, you know, Champions League final, piano. Yeah, chat there now. You know, there's a lot to be seen. Oh, that grand finale in Tiana Wakash and so at Yamaya. I'm a summon 3 Junction KG Pub, a whole and live and colored. And a bad day. And you won't feel me in I share on my young preparation. Yes. I had a World Cup final. Now, I'm creating Neko for so ACL before everybody feel no copiemo. I am not down for his Oliver Glasner. I copiemo Hawk Kasaka Crab. If you are trying to few streets now in some Kakra and so at the Atwa shop. Now, you can see some say players now bonuses no a free number for AB Triamom your call a World Cup. And Honorable Sports Minister signed the Atuja a Rakofi Adams as a former coach of the Black Stars. A Utuado Susika Crack 124. So maybe still in January.
That the old coach that we saw we still had some responsibility for him also over a certain period. But
so Otuado,
So
Otuado is still old.
Of course, we still owe him. I can't tell the figures, but we still owe him.
A lot?
Well, for a country like Ghana and considering the funding that we get for sports, that should be a lot.
So we are talking in excess of $500,000.
It could be. 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 Because if even just 6 months of pay, you put that together, it's quite substantial. Plus some other, but we've paid some of the monies, like the winning bonuses that we have. Everything has been cleared, so we don't owe any player, we don't owe any technical person for all the bonuses that were due them during the qualification. And so Coach Otuado have also benefited from such payments, and any other player or technical official who is supposed to have benefited from that. So it reduced the responsibility in some ways.
So you're hoping that the GFA would have discharge their responsibilities to him as far as paying the,
I believe so.
The 80,000 a month.
I believe so. No. Unfortunately, in the midst of all the many things that we have to manage because of the World Cup, that was not one of the issues that really came up of concern to anybody. And so I believe it's because that was handled.
And when you spoke to him, he didn't give you an indication that...
He didn't give any indication that he was expecting any payment that has not come.
And all the players have also been settled there.
Yeah,
all right, Rakofi Adams, Sports Minister, and someone. You got the Black Queens of Ghana. I know, say, warming up for the WAFCON. You bet me, I to be and Nigeria, our friendly match back. I said the Pim So Casablanca head coach came last and in Samu Tuja. You can't go back against Ivory Coast. You're born Nigeria, but I've seen any sort of and I said, see, and to me, AFCON, you crown. You bet me, I can't team say qualify for a Man World Cup now.
When I took over the team 1.5 years ago, I said my expectation is to bring back Ghana to a top 4 team in Africa. If we do that, I'm pretty sure that we sooner or later will win. top 4 is going to give us the qualification for the World Cup, so that's going to be huge. It's not going to be easy, but we're going to do everything we can to start with to make the top 4. And if you are top 4, let's push for the gold. It's a possibility. Of course, there are less games now. The most of the players are off-season. There have been some local camps. We had our camp now, so it will not be like too many new players, but there is a possibility that it will be 1 or 2 or maybe 3 new.
All right, and so Saturday the match in Basso 4 p.m. and of course the Black Queens versus the Super Falcons of Nigeria. Now I can say midfielder Grace Asantua or also captain Wakasa Semano Adom so say Momo Yobo Kakra Grace so say Omoni April just mo kwa to papa so or Afcon yase.
Wafcon wa be ko adia mani da so say ye betumi qualify akọ World Cup eno na ye main target is when you should speak. The betumi ani say the last year ye ko na ye betumi ayabro this time, which means say I was say ye focus more na ye training hard na ye determines. Say the midi kan kai no say ye betumi qualify akọ World Cup na face ye betumi akọbọ ehun mode ama o my Ghana. Message and woman Ghanaians na say omubeko so I support you, sending debut almost support Black Queens in our face. Omode Mpaye at 30, sending Yami Adom tournament in the to me, I qualified World Cup.
Right, Grace Asantua, yes, Captain Fantastic Nisama, or your children. I was ever July 25 to August 16, and Wafcon, Basso, Morocco, and Ghana. Friendly game near Dutch at 4 p.m. against Nigeria. And so much some of the PMs are what Afcon so ye jagiri and yasepa and asam get to Accra. President at BB United at the same Accra to Oma qualify by both Premier League in Ibi. I was seeing it to say. And feeding the edge, my bonanisa and something which is the see. Yan something talks to the fata salt in the bar and there I feed our channel. Not doom pay me better answer the sports arena and they friend of World Cup on Cobo Abro 10:30. Janison. Can say a mom pie there, Saturday Biani, a bomb pack a cow grow new, a grow or the 11. I grew new heart 10:30. Ocean 11 never grow what we try. I grew for Jesus. Pablo, I'm a party with Jeremy producer Sasona DBS Industries Limited and a Franco Training Enterprise. Kaifa Nankasa Kankejuan and where can see you body name. Breakfast in East over to you.
I can't glue into the market. I'm some pipe once we sharp.
And Independence Square. Yeah, Independence.
Prayer topics and so yeah.
I know what thing. I know what thing.
Yeah, but why Zoom no and phone line also.
Democracy.
The more sepa no more about the Maya. To wait me about the I Shannon so said democracy. Yanton.
Of course, attack ready, right?
Also, yeah, library.
Great. And then
attack the library. And you remember 4.
I remember 4. Okay, that's fine.
4 p.m. Now just say one more. I shall see. Baby, I will be Western North. That's all bed to Pradem Quadia. Brana Babusa, question beer. Or suggestions beer. Also, yes, I'm penny phones or the camera. To me, I bought a dear man ferret, and what's not baby, money a calculating was a busy Madara Mumbra, then your fit, then your crab shake. Mr. Zoom, no so at the wa. Young quay. You're kissing me, or kissing me. I don't pay. I'm watching.
Yeah, sister, if you don't pay my just what out Roma.
Yeah, that's.
And the person, yeah, you see, Pentana, the Macan, Sama Makuma Tomiyum. Sister, if you in the name of politics, now will be DMP attempt, now will be DMC attempt, now will be the president attempt. Adentia, MP Bass or Manajuma Manning. Ayanokura, Nansu, if you woman or Baba. Obama in the Quran, Osho Machanagin. Na, that be American, say MP no bayano, Ebiano Bajuma, MP ne bayano, Ebiano ye project. One first he can amrounti. What's all I know would dinner attempt to Mubia, Fistafia, ye bought MP, and ye bought MC Yabasono, Obi Fisabia Nipana Swasi cat dime back one my. Nanso Antisao, and Suni Papa, I do my panny panoide, or Bonti, and so become Nasa MP no, Wakona Yeda, Wakoni Pertida. Wakoni ba di pola. And no dinatem.
Akis me da say na menka ho.
Obi nya adwena na nu nkyerɛ sɛ di na tam akis me ne makra.
Yeah, that's it.
Nana Ojamboama. Nana, good morning.
Morning, Akwasi.
Hey.
So up for me, dear.
Na me admire ho ye pa.
Yo, and now if you're there, your money, I'll say upon you could be na yako. Yura emos Kofi Boateng no your church ni penny e won kwaben RC. Say wa bana ho di wa santoma bon so chia pa order. O say da obeba mon po bi order ma ya fafiri e no. Akwasi mo adwuma yo democracy enton. Adwuma we amodi atum so de eye pa na mo fa nko Ghana fa na nyina. The exam so mo adwuma ye. Ye be yi council state penifo kron beto man penifo pra o mu tueska.
Yes.
It is a deal in a 2 weeks. Mina me wo polling station. I be na she be gani am. Minya trefano. Mostly democracy am 20 plus adiano. Na council state from there ya fa on. Asense one fancy na ya ka na pa.
Ya da say Nana Ojamboama.
Yanko baba ho.
Baba
em watching.
Majiso afia.
Ya da say yenti o baba.
Afia mambo baso na adwuma pa moje moye dada.
Yeah, that's it.
Na afia ade aha adwene pa amuka ayemede na ese yebetima the politics adi amampani a anase pani a esen awo Ghana ha no. Ye nyina yesua politics na hu se atemdidie no anya ade abetima boaye. Kese ye mumbe obi nyini se okura na ani kwaso on dinatem. Abele so obi a otimi hwe the whole Ghana. Ama wasam ayena sam na wasan kodina tema na ya dia aha adwen papa afia saade we no de munkoso na mumboso na obi amfanto na dweno na ese saade we de yan film mamincha ensham alasa bonsu en kamancha man for NDC asantere mamincha na papa
ya da say
Ishak
yeah
ya da for ya mwache
Idris okay.
That's it, your papa.
Idris kasa rientio.
Yo. Chacha munyina na.
Yeah, yo so.
Mjide sema hoye. Ngopo nshiramu. Thank God it's Friday. Me fanchi atu koma honorable Alhaji Sham Alhassan Bonsu. Nyamisha papa. Eni ni Alhaji Inje. Of course, David Adama, Obuasi West, incoming chairman, I'm sure Papa. I would say, Ghana Hano, I would say, say, you want freedom of speech. Nemum, you need freedom after speech. So what you say? It is, Yatihana Mona, the Tebiano, Yatmika, it's your time as some tiny pa. It is a president here, Dibine, and yet, and also be a Dibine, and yet, dinner away and no, what's our talking now can watch them. And the piano, yeah, me must free politics. They want me to go straight to the point say, who did it straight? And then the Irina, do more singing, do more time. In fact, your performance, your mamma, your bush for one pass at the end of the it's a while which your pass at the end to be on the fire of politics, mana, and yanti, papa.
Yeah, that's
it. I say, I hear also. I good morning.
I hear
what you.
What is that?
Yamia,
and then Friday, it's the Kakra Americans and Pacho, and then Friday is a weekend, no? And never be bring work, maybe able to coin drive a phone. Yes, from moment on bus, no for Obia and comedy fias from game. Now it's the Jamasa methods we know. May tackle overhead, no circle, overpass, no carnation. Carnation overpass, no. We stram penny for na be close, no. Yes, from more dance of May. Say Jumane free war.
Okay.
Now go for yini biam or my Ghana na yankwati committee. Ye mpesa ade ni biom. Omo meye adwuma na o nti omo kulu su nu. Omo meye free war na nipa ntumi yusu over pass na yan fa so biam be na kwa mu twa ho ye din na nten dodo. Why is the via me da wase ba.
Yes, where I say.
2 p.m. Suni. Edo am watching.
Meje also menu aba afia mankwa. One akwasinsia bo ate na mo ho ye de.
Nyame adme ho ye pa.
Okay, the Amponyankopon ase. Once maba there, a Greek minister, Honorable Eric Opoku. Baby will be at 2 p.m. to chairman, on a chairman, and Nakwesi, Augustus and Honorable Vida are there. I was see
2 p.m.
Share Yenuanum Yina Ababe can say me because I was see a na ya. Share Nana Adodanko Kufuado, Abuakwa Mugabi. Say or me busuani a me 2 p.m. me papa. But I say me saw camera. I see me saw Ababe di Nana Adodanko Kufuado atem. Enye buo ya amfa saa nneɛma na anye dɛ antete yɛ yɛbɛsrɛ Ghana mabunu na yɛba no akwasi social media yi na de sa hwɛ sɛ saa tama yɛ phone in serial callers obetumi afrɛ radio so akɔ akɔdi pani bi atem dabi ba yɛ sɛ social media TikTok ni we ni ba yɛ saa nneɛma na ɛkɔ so akora ketewa no atwe phone edi His Excellency Goodluck Obama John Dramani Trump Kwame Abebio Mahama atem adai emra ne yɛ adwuma sɛ de sɛ me 1 year ni kura so 1 year no kesua and come 3 years no come man 3 years na amount for the bayan kadum e dia ye nyansa sem say me twe camera di pani atema ye be jele me ye nyai politics of insult and ade amode mo ho so agim no monye ne nko akire na akwasi abato a ye beto yi 2 pm I say me ko peska one peska untimi wi ni
peska fa message come beto ama o
let us say obaka
Christy good morning
yeah
Christy. Oh. Christy did a freezy. Okay.
Bwedi,
good morning.
Mejemoso.
Yes, I just so.
Media kakra me kan say. Mesre on se du baby o Ghana for ya na ye mu bi ya yinyatwom. Ye musa se da ben ye hu se afedi ye didi panyi bi atemu a enye efi se ye wo hanom na Kevin Taylor nom eso di ahemfo ne president ni nipa mu kura bi beka mo but ye musa se e de ne kafa ho ye sukufo nkola bi so na camera si wo so di na do atem ne ade ye kan de so enti du ba bi Kevin Taylor ba Ghana de ne de ye no but yan so me hu da ma call radio so na TV so sema ko di panyi bi atem enye ba samro na enye a yan condemn me say enne de yan ko an ye condemn but the baby na atwam de ni hu say udidi panyi atem enye ana ye besere mabunu no a mo ba no yan fa ni die ma obi afi say president Mama ti hoyi so oye ubusuani ana wo papa na wo fa bi a wani beje so atiasenti saa ne ma na ekoso no ye ntwa so any kwana say yes ade no mama ncha Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia ba tampa kumsini yura jombo na na bonsu so mesre mo hwehwe na bonsu na ba no mu ma ye ne hu ne akosie
Rate Chris, good morning.
Achomo hoye
nyame adme hoye na nso Chris, network.
Hello.
Yeah, Christy.
Yeah, the nyame sene nso ade pa chene yeti ase kakra meka efa eye accident no ma ye koso no ye best driver for no sister fie so mo na ma energy drinks in the crowd energy drinks no di egumu no enya asem ketwa Chroma, tramo, and sa red no mo dem ntwa so police for no mo kwan no so no sa na emenya o so mo ye inspection eye kakra no mbeje no kwan ni hia o ye besre o manyi ndi sa adwuma na maye me chia me maame Madam Teresa Nimu a ne tra kwan e wo boa na nkraza no mo nya me nya adwuma
yeah that's nyame ka so
wisdom so aba erofo ya mo ache wisdom ya chia wo o mi utu hu ni ente wonka yeah mo akwa ba
me tie fo ina
yeah so
ente wonka
musu me tie mo tie fo ina ene ado fo mo hwe
yeah mo akwa ba
wisdom but mute you where you lower TV no volume
no na yankasa wo afida wasa o mute ha yamfa mankind ya mwache
so eja kwasisi ya one efia makwata mako mapo muti sen
ya me adme ho ye pa
ya nyame ase yebebo elembele new elected executives na baso ene da omuma yokoye nkambo meeting ma omwa na omunya nyina yaka ye ho abom a ya baba ye adwuma de aboa elembele MPP na de meka sesi ane se ye deputy minister for transport the hometown kwan ye accident sesi wo so elembele ankobla bridge no so no ababa ye dead trap ye besre se ye ma ye nin ko ho ye mpese ebebu agum ansa na ya babeka ye de ye asua firi ye jakwasinsia na afia makwata tamaklo ho se obi anka akwasinsia na afia makwa ne mankan ye de ebeka nti ye besere na atemdide na ye ka no se ne da nya am say wo power wo position na you take advantage of but wo be betra kunwa no so afi de usu achichi no adoso dodo wo ye president abi tolerant na me nua kan say yeah, men so say the president atem but enye ne manyina na say president
Yeah,
ne
that's
ne edidi dibo
that's for penny.
Yeah.
Openi am watching.
Oh.
Yente won ka papa.
Me jemo sopa na mechia akwasinsia nso so. Me gidi se nyame adom ntimo ho ye pa.
Nyame adom ho ye.
Yada Yehowa se. Minua mamemfa akwanya so na menchia honorable Nana Osaya J AD Joe MP for New Durban North. Na afe nso so menchia the incoming Eastern Regional Youth Organizer honorable Samuel Osaya sa akode enra enoko file in nomination ye hwese nyame ya adoma 15th of next month ye koto aba e de amano prekope minua atemdidi asem wa mo kan eye ese yebeyi atemdidie afiri ye in politics.
Oh, Pericas Fache. Bismarck, good morning.
And he said,
oh, Bismarck, good morning.
Morning. Now what to say?
Nyamiad now swear.
Oh, Nyamiad don't be boko.
Yeah, me ase. Me ain't you.
Yeah, kaka me pesa me can F5 item the dear some with your more canon. Like yeah, what difference between like tweakers and I don't know how to distinguish between the two. One we say yeah, what difference between criticism and it's insult. So what you say?
Yeah.
And no, and young, and Kolana, and I say, or more, use social media and TikTok, ne hon cronobano. So, fine, abano, a ye bibia, enye, ubet me boy, abine you all right. What you say? Now say, oh, call akwa attack, nipano personally, making sure, say, oh, evidence to that effect. So, say, utie, and someone lady nekaye. Of which me fancy see my sentences I can repeat some of the words. I can say
Obin, good morning.
Otian Obin. Otian Ope am watching.
Otin on mute you home.
And so on can.
Oh.
I feel why you come right every move. Ain't you?
Ain't you say? Oh.
Monday nyambo anu aba. Is that the end on can?
Master planner.
Master planner.
Communication officer.
Yeah, Bako. Post. Thank you, Papa.
That's it. My mentia production team ni at for the It's a quick one. I did the attempt in politics. I did be a new concept so. Ghana, both MPP and NDC, all criticize constructively, facts and figures. But the fact of the matter is, young cannot pray. Yen cannot pray. Over social media, so more mudi attempt pan NDC for Facebook or comment here, be due attempt poto. Inti, yes, security agencies, and I Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bome, former vice president, Besin Day, Your mom for mutina social media, so TikTok, so Facebook, so it did Dr. Bomiatem. Omo de yam kwati omo. Nti omo more power. President Mahama ni the ministers on kwana udi o matema. Yetio.
That's it.
Ya na de say ya na be ko no yentwa so a we be ba be ka we ya ba be ka. Ya kura ye ni aba mu kura no posi wa de kwa de we o be betwa wa da pa. Did you say? I but I was here to chill be like anya fe. Ere yentwa so na ye nkwohwe aneurysm no wiki mu nkomo a ye dia no no.
Na ne wrap up aneurysm
yeah. Adom 5 minutes yenche yentie mrasisi a yeba. Memo akwaba midi de afia amankwa tamaklo Badwam health tips na wotwi mu nyinara yakasa fa aneurysm ehu didi yese wasua de faseda ma oba beti usu ansa onda echeye na eye endpoint homeopathic clinic ensunti eni ye pia ya benya oba na yedi nkomwe timiso ya nko ade a entutu no ase ne ko fa dog se wo personal doctor friend anytime bi obeje oso ana dwunu mu ho na ya na hadwen but friend on working hours a obeje oso wo abo so obeye nko a obetumi de a obemu aba wo show 0244867068 meni oba Betty usu ansa principal nursing officer
me pachani
obapa onkwaso yedase na wotwi mu ayade wada wo ma kwan be ne ye befa so a prevent sa aneurysm any home treatment
me da sister fia ensa meka ne kofa bae no meka se unya mujabroso na wo manage a enti ade bia kofa mujabroso ba se wono monsa basa onum cigarette se wudi aduane enchine bebre wom se wonye exercise se wudwindwin bebre no mujabroso kofa bae ni na e wo se yetwe ye ho free ho ena empo unya mujabroso a e wo se wo hwe na wono mondro e wo se wo sesa wabrabo one ye wanamuntu eno na brofokasem ye kind of lifestyle modification se ne be ya BP no e be dropping ena ebio obi onum cigarette bi ejai nicotine na e wo cigarette mu no e ma ntine ne ye bojo aneurysm eta isi omo ntine ne nti se onum cigarette e wo se wujai ena wo se wudidi ye dinyane a ubenya ahodindro wom Bronica some your friend or antioxidants because I say near man no ni oxidative adena ema intine ya bojo no but udi niema containing vegetables no containing antioxidants I corrected those near man nke bema intine ya bojo ama aneurysm nesino nti di aduane pa aduane bia wudi bia bisa ho se e di aduane mu ahodindro na me nyama ni aduane e na bio age untumi nsesa no but unyini no e wo se wo hwe wo ho so ye na wudidi ye se na ebe ye ema untumi nkonya aneurysm e na wudi nnuane astrade bebre wo ma ese meka sa atherosclerosis se strade adorint ninim enti mojanam no ye krom hanom de eno ne contain strade bebre enti me nka se jai bate so na ye exercise se ne be ye bebe ne fat na ewo ni padwanem na intini na nkodore strade nkodore intini mu
ami show that's papa elim say ye be say new opportunity asa hia wo bi ye that's papa enti oba beti osu ansa ena yete no enka no na wotwe mu nyina oni yen edi enkomo afa aneurysm ho bibi ho ana beka
na make treatment no enam say eye emirikatua de ninti mostly no eye surgery obi so ho a ye hu say aneurysm na start by enyampaya apomuden adwumayefo ye observation omo hwe sene esi ikono empepi no mo hwe location no omo hwe ne kese no ene sene esi iko enyini kono na omo aye intervene no eno ye profocasen ye friend no preventative surgery sene be ya enkopai
mo enu ho kura na yakoye wi enu ho hwe obi pi no check wo ho a check ye ni di ye ni enye exercise ye ni nyina betumi aboa ye ye sure say na wotwe mu asuade sa nso na nyame ye adoma next week enkwa hoden wo ha ye be se hia ni asa di nkomo saa ewo conditions ahodo bi eho ni nyina no ye endpoint homeopathic clinic na daroma ene yetimi de brewo tu yare nko ade a Mr. Ofre no a obeje so 0244867068 na wochi ebesimu nkwa hoden wo hɔ a efia amankwa tamaklo yebesehia yedas say mo kwa babie me Adom TV Badwam na oguso ehwe no na wochi mo ya de babia wo bia bonsam ho se fide no guso da Adom TV ne titru any health no health tips no fa ni agro nyame nhira wo maye tinyambo next week nso yare foforo beba ya jebre 5 minutes ye nche endpoint homeopathic clinic adwumakuo no won na boy ya chidom a etimi de nkomo ibro na wochi mu nyina nti wo yare nko ade empopo ho na frɛ no obejo so na wamo apomuden pa 0244867068 friend CCA obejo so kompo Ghana go rush season no eni o ye womu ye wie ni memenda ene ne kwasi adanse se ni nyina aba na wie ye nanso kompo Ghana de TV fridges ne electronics ne ma no womu guso atonton tumi ka na kwaje de say ye projectors na wo pair say ye sound bars na wo pair ebo no wo matete so edi amayenti twimi kana kwaje wodi esisi a won showrooms ni nyina no ubowrem a de wo pe bia no benya bi online so a wokokwa wo benya bi for 0302 752020 and our WhatsApp number is 0243 143143 nene Kompo Ghana nkasa Kompo Ghana go rush season the ultimate football experience Malta Guinness enwa weekend yi say yesu and tomato bia no mkeke Malta Guinness and the sugar. Oh, say be more the sugar and what thing. The shop Malta Guinness in no. The be more who difference no a year one more ban bomono lebono. Proudly made in Ghana the actual gumo. Well who no say you any na copy original no ankasa. Program be a wo ye no here Malta Guinness. Na ode edu juma. Kel Choco toothpaste or say happy smile. Yentwi yesen yemo yesen ho ban free kaka. Eni enu monka ho scent wo no me hard drain. Kaka so eje osembo so a e problem Mr. ye mfa Kel Choco ntwitwi ye nse o tachere maso ye kura ye problem ntumi ni di mako oshim nso oshim o de Kel Choco twitwi sen atwitwi tachere maso a ohun se sa problem ni nyina ni ho Samara Company Limited for wom na akofa toothpaste kamei aba from 6 years utumi de Kel Choco no bi atwitwi sen o pedodo atu o penchire mu bi 0246 864 798 and 0501 454 462. Kel Choco happy smile. Franco Trading Enterprise still phones. Orma himfie no ho. Franco air condition kokwajo DSC awabe who difference no. The electronics near me bia bi o Franco ho. Kwajo DSC branches ni nyina ye adwuma. Franco ye na ye adwuma chedodo. Nyame nhira no. Ne niema ye nti and still Oda so ewo system de muntu ope electronics bia yenko Franco Trading Enterprise. Anyone kasa was 0246 422 338 and 0555939311 and WhatsApp number 0503 607 980. Medidi afia amankwa tamaklu afi na wo hye yeda sinyi free ha neti apomuden enkomo we nso ebeboa papa Dr. Sharp oba ono ode ayi otutu ahohom so ka ho apart from ma apomuden pa no so oba na wani onye correct a ni nyina nso ohunu eyi ofiri ho dog the demon chesa ebeba so say vim ni nyama ba ta ebe wie no na waye so ja ya mo ache ni mo akwa
afia mejo so ya chia ahwefo ne atiefuo nyina nso ami se ni nyina ne ye kwa ye ba nyina fia se Ghana be ye na obi antimi ama megye ne ye nanam ne ɔman no de agya no ne ɛbɔ ho ban ma president for ba na ahemfo etu aso na doctors ne nneɛma we nso so ewurawura mu wo ma ɛso construction store na ebi mu nso yesei na kese ne nyinaa ka bom na ayese praya ye de abom ubu a emu saa na tienti na anopa nso so no ye wa hanom ye ne Ghana fo eba be de ebe kasa amani panyina ehu ne ye wo ho Dr. Sharp de se wote ne nka ma me papa eye enuoma kakra bi se unipadua no firi utiri so ekosi wo na ase no ne etochima emma wuntimi emfele all right atambia no eye de ben how ebu abam emma uluku disbibi onse o disable ho ye disable no na yibaye able nti unsa ne sane nneoma no beko nti se nipa obi nya ye ka se disable aya abrofo no afia bi mo de kwai kata akura achiwa we disable afia ohene no mfanshi ye enti anakura insese nka wo so kata wano no obebie wanum because just kata na nye serious what you say enti ma me papa wutie me ya de bia da wo so bia no ya to nsa fro se ba bia wo bia no se otimi de duru ya so ye de a se ne mate Dr. Sharp nka me pacho ontimi emfeli wo bia ewo omanum eni ba bia no me pacho ben ye pe ahoto ebe ye odea asumdwe be ye odea hwe me se afia nipa abreo enra maame bi ba ye ho na sa wokɔ hospital kase mi modi hospital kase pa ewo Ghana na yi ade aye no enje da nye serious ayi bia o eno ma kire ne se o ma kire ne se 2 weeks bia no metua 3000 cedis oti ase eno mpo ne nya se yade ne eko oba ya ma na yi keke wo hwe wadi ba 2 weeks ne wo ya kura kese ayi ayade man me galo nya me de be si ha no mi ya eno abi na keke ne yade amano eno mpo no kese enje da ntere ye ho nya de ben enhwe no hwe yaresa no da bia me kase enya aban no nkwa ne de sayade se osu aban nkwa na de sayade dia ma me papa obey mistake na papa bi ba ho baga bi na kire no hwe afia enuoma wo wiase se ne obi kase bibi ni wiase a sa nipa no bia no nanim ba bia oye de ben ogina hwe se afia papa na nya stroke ni na kwenta na kire ne ye ho man wo London unim se ye ma na duro enra ye yesu sumu dwumadie na mi hu se adia ye ma na duro no mi hu nioma bi ye but ye yi na mi hu se sa ne papa aka baabi omo ye nipa 7 ne papa awu na ne yere se an papa ne papa no awu na ayi omo ye nipa 7 but ba ko awu na wo ne yedo bibia ma no se an hwe eno ano no o makwa no
wow
afia nti se we se wanya ya ete se so bi ni inside say ya na se won hu nioma bi se ya ete se ne wafa orange akutuo se wa de kwbo elephant amana we na wanga se wo de AK47 kura ko gira ni no wanya lokia so obeku won se ne ete enye no hwe ma me papa wutie me Dr. Sharp aka da bia me se sa asem se mo betia ye wa duro ye na da nipa me pa cha wo de ya de ba ye ho no ma ebekọ da bia me pante kirew na nse bi obi frɛ me sa asem no de mo obi am frɛ me enka bi obi frɛ me sa me se ne baby yare worototo me obi ana stambla na se da bi ye nya sa duro abafa chakwata kompo ena mumu me pa cha ya de bie no no ma me pa cha ye ntimi nye ena fia so obi o kaso ampotemu a ope omra ye hia ayiwe kesebe tu bi dia supporto mi hia we kesebe tu se wo kaso a me pa to mfra kire ma kaso side one ma ba bia mi hia 2 workers se ma o se obaba ko be ma ba ko obi a oba na be ma obi a ye hia no afio enti ye wonu ma bebre wo no ma enti na ma nipa no bebre ya de ntimi nko no esan se ade bi wo no ma ne yedi aya onu ne di akira nkasa no ma me papa je se wanyansa bia emu eduru anase eso echen saa no anza na yede be atima breki saa de na afiro no mama anyasa obanu maduru a yade no entimi enko da bia so me kasa nya aduro ni ne ono ma etimi saw yade bebra tete yakoba bia entimi nyeye Dr. Sharp say oye droma na nyeye obemma afia say me de 5,000 account 20,000 memo 200 titidien 200 million san fre afia nso ye fra memo 1 billion 100,000 new Ghana city say Sharp ye droma ni pe o si anye afia sa record me si bi ntimi si o me hoda gije nipa na ama ati san obua oba masa ya tenase na me so zika na me say me the left so me say ya e bo me yard ma master alhamdulillah ya lawa akbaro sadati ye na me wonom nsusu na fia me ye madwuma me nye bribe nka ho me nye bribe wa me ho ma me papa sadati me ye madwuma frenchem odi ni pa na wa na ye na mpacho me sia cho upa che so ja tare na che police atare na hwe with uniform na nkasa me pacho be hunse bibi o wiase ankasa abele bi me koye TV radio station kase bi me koye program so me koye na ayi nipa ne ka se eni omo nhye da nya so omo yade na akire panyini bi pa yire na frɛ me ka kire mi o brigadier general bi yire na frɛ me na me kɔ na ofrɛ mbo mama ne se ete onka wa no na say na mete say na me say opa wonyare a me pato de bra ye nsi obi akwaye o bra na che da be ka so yare se o yam de afi obi yam ye ne ya se ge se nipa na aka se ko uba wo de no wa che da so yam yare se oba be giska enka you go sabi say Sharp day uba unsa bruni bo frem kra say frene kranka sunsun ni tumi ni awode wan so menye bra me yam adwuma pefe ma me papa ne da wo so no enti na ade che ade sampacho da bia no ye tete ye hahai ye force se ba ya ho betimi atọ na oman no yetimi akekere oman ye na bibia etimi atọ ne kwamo ma me papa entu sika ngu hwe tie asem wesim and a light Shannon oba ye honom ye droma na anye ya ye guye kura ye ni mase ma me papa sa na tie gisi obi honom an so obi ho ye ne den se nipa no on de obewu ono ene kura no ebi nsisi e ho ye ni sa tam no obewu nipa ye du o ma ba me pa chaw se me se ye do duru me ho na aka o ye ayesa o ye wu na se ho me ya ate no e wo se nke ye do o se gisi so no afia gisa mentimi amfa no ma nya aban what ya say yam no correct time amfama me dey atrebe ye wan peso anum sisi ampa ke obesore at once sa that ye enya hode nso enya tumi so me nanam na ye say nnuro no na aba beto me so me mfa ni agro me ya no pepepe ma me papa say ya de bi da so broni na aka kire bibini na aka kire wo de achi na che wo ye bibia entimi nyeye wa bompa ye anyeye wa ye de be anyeye wa no de aduro anyeye wo de akwan fa hospital me pa cho papa panyimu pa nkura nurse-sefo enketenketi afekire sa eduru ba bi kura obo yefu me pa cho Dr. Sharp de Demon Jesus odom me pa cho na obo se tumi ni ahoden eye adwuma bo sa yare sankasa e wo onom numbers in the TV na ni no ma me papa tie oba me onoma faka so aka nesi wo overhead na se so si wo ka so overhead na se a faka eko new market na ka so be so ADB bank agri bank wusu ADB bank na bisase o hwehwe Dr. Sharp se nipa na timan ke ono nso ye ho se ne won so aba because one no ye player yi wa unti nipa twam ono bebre sa na ma me ate numbers ni 0266 14 another 14 6 9 0266 14 another 14 6 9 050 554 19 96 050 554 19 96 020 489 74 54 020 489 74 54 Tuesday nyumire so 11 to 12 anadubia na yakasa wa Adom FM so betimete one day time umpa ma me papa Dr. Sharp ni bruni bo free class free kanka so so le tumi ni amodi acha ne ma dadima chesa malatu daga pe enko ka watamfo wo ma show sika sam so no enko ka mesaturu bio pe afia
Hey.
Yeah, if you are that baby.
No. Hey, Dr. Shab na yete no enka no friend wa. Obo atamfo nyina nso tu ama no asa modru ama ho aye den. Die fia amankwa tamaklo. The guys I crado. Ene say omu enemo on say enshoma star no. Aha nti e de bebramu. Nyame yaba no pay de no there be because guys sister Sunday be or your guy oni crew no they say omu osehi. If you say Stroma Star season 8 star and they kwa Adom wo kronum nanano mo ne mpanifo nyina asi nkonya ye gi ye be nyame onhira mu nyina ye kwaba.
Signs of a potential extreme disagreement between the two sides of the House began in the afternoon of Thursday when the House went on suspension after a long debate over the minority leader's proposed deletion of Clause 4 of the bill. The Clause 4 is considered the core pillar of the bill because it is the part that will guarantee the establishment of the district and regional tribunals. The minority insisted despite a voice vote that kicked against the proposed deletion as they served notice to challenge the decision of the voice vote. A 10-minute suspension over the matter turned into 4.5 hours of waiting as the majority marshaled its members from across the country against the threat of quorum signaled by the minority.
Foreign Affairs Minister was in the Volta region with the president, and I called him and he came back. There are some of our colleagues here who were in Yendi to attend the 3 days Adua of our late King Diana. Because of you, I have brought all of them back. I can assure you that even if we will sit here till tomorrow morning, this bill will pass it today. We will pass it today. You can filibuster, you can do all the things that you want to do. I have your time. I have your time. We will pass this bill today.
The House later resumed at about 9:30 p.m. The minority then triggered Order 152 for a head count but lost.
Those who voted aye, after counting, they numbered 16. Those who voted aye, who were up to be counted, is 134. Honourable members, by the Supreme Court decision in the case of Justice Abdullahi versus Attorney General, when the person presiding is a deputy speaker, he is entitled to vote. Accordingly, I am also voting aye. So the votes, I'm also voting no. I am voting no. So the total vote for the no is 135.
The minority then walked out, insisting they do not want to be part of the process any longer.
If he says they want to go ahead, and Mr. Speaker, when the majority leader speaks with all his authority, say, today, he says he will pass. Mr. Speaker, the Constitutional Review Committee has spoken against this bill. They said they will do what they want to do. Mr. Speaker, we are Democrats. To be part of this Rambo style of, Mr. Speaker, destroying the judiciary.
Leader Alexander Penyumakin, addressing an emergency press conference, accused the majority of defying cautions from the opposition and the Trade Union Congress against the passage.
So we, the minority,
have left the chamber because the majority leader decided to shut the door. In Parliament, we believe that in all situations of disagreement, there must be a window to discuss, to raise the concerns. But once the majority leader makes a strong pronouncement that whatever the case, they will not listen, they will use their numbers to pass the bill, then there is no point again. Every other effort will be rendered odious. Every other effort by us will be rendered nugatory. We tell you truth. We will not say anything outside of the truth. So it is clear that the Yentio syndrome has set in.
The majority, however, proceeded to amend all 54 other clauses and passed the bill by midnight.
Honourable members, the Tribunal Bill 2026 is now duly read for the third time and passed.
The bill is now set for transmission to President John Mahama for assent into law. James Abeji, Parliament House, Accra.
And as we did it's just gone by a year no commodity course or Ghana Marseille film. Bill Yam Marseille for edgy to make a don Kumano Echon Ephraim say. Senior Abamu pen for a dodo bill when the annual bidding a Sabako Fadiam. Your friend Tribunal Bill Abba, 70 Miabwa, Ama and send one man a senior. A bet me a call and 10 times so. Every say corruption cases bet me a content so. Now encoded the usual traditional court in Ghana I want eso. Whether don't manage mana issues more or something for shady timika. MF4 Montia Sienti, don't manage on Frenra. Bill na passing. Mamma must nominate ranking member on Constitutional and Legal Affairs Committee of Parliament. Onam Kwame Enyimadu Ekwachi Ekumo Efasans. What about me kind of pay? You're watching Wakwaba Eba Bejam to Media so. Mesa Abobadi Sebenya Onam Kwame Enyimadu, a ranking member on the Constitutional and Legal Affairs Committee of Ghana's Parliament. Our Mansonia Train Combo. Now, what's your bobat today? Don't come on asempa anything. Don't come on. Issue pa this tribunal bill 2026. Yeah, passing the new and breno pa anything. Dear man here, how so my Ghana edges our bill say atum. The map I didn't sabasha say amambra ewo my emu. Dear mamma call her or may come on in punto. Yet about don't come on echo at the FMO. Yebenya ora kwa me anyumadu ewa masom na ye no atwe enko ba me kan say motor guinness dey am kan makatos be order unhia bi dey biada unhia motor guinness dey biada na timi aboa se na be ya dada akoba dey nyina betimi awie peyo ede amawo akona be dey betimi asisu na koso ye pa de ma motor guinness esa se nwano ahemase ya be oto apache ya make sure say proudly made in Ghana logo no e bon si ya tem especially ajeje kan ya pe no bi e kama pa we are so chilling kakra bi anya bad so you e wo me say the apage anom ne sa e say kama pa motor guinness I say we move e tabujafo be kensa na pay atwe enkomo wadwenkyere bi okoma ba bedi hu a WhatsApp number 0531 029795 0531 029795 ya for din and we be ado comment no efiba eka emayem and the perform no more atwe komo ayem Honorable Ali Maiga, former member of Parliament, Emma Rishiam, what Doma West, Ebeka Yensa, Sanso, and member of Parliament, Manisha Brekum West, so Bekensa, and the other people. I'm not Mumra, now Femi Coaching Como, Ewa Maniso.
Signs of a potential extreme disagreement between the two sides of the House began in the afternoon of Thursday when the House went on suspension after a long debate over the minority leader's proposed deletion of Clause 4 of the bill. The Clause 4 is considered the core pillar of the bill because it is the part that will guarantee the establishment of the district and regional tribunals. The minority insisted, despite a voice vote that kicked against the proposed deletion, as they served notice to challenge the decision of the voice vote. A 10-minute suspension over the matter turned into 4.5 hours of waiting as the majority marshaled its members from across the country against the threat of quorum signaled by the minority.
Foreign Affairs Minister was in the Volta region with the president, and I called him and he came back. There are some of our colleagues here who were in Yendi to attend the 3 days Adua of our late King Diana. Because of you, I have brought all of them back. I can assure you that even if we will sit here till tomorrow morning, this bill will pass it today. We will pass it today. You can filibuster, you can do all the things that you want to do. I have your time. I have your time. We will pass this bill today.
The House later resumed at about 9:30 p.m. The minority then triggered Order 152 for a head count but lost.
Those who voted aye, after counting, they numbered 16. Those who voted aye, who were up to be counted, is 134. Honourable members, by the Supreme Court decision in the case of Justice Abdullahi versus Attorney General, when the person presiding is a deputy speaker, he is entitled to vote. Accordingly, I am also voting aye. So the votes, I'm also voting no. I am voting no. So the total vote for the no is 135.
The minority then walked out, insisting they do not want to be part of the process any longer.
If he says they want to go ahead, and Mr. Speaker, when the majority leader speaks with all his authority, he says, today, he says he will pass. Mr. Speaker, the Constitutional Review Committee has spoken against this bill. They said they will do what they want to do. Mr. Speaker, we are Democrats. We are not going to be part of this Rambo style of, Mr. Speaker, destroying the judiciary.
Leader Alexander Penyumakin, addressing an emergency press conference, accused the majority of defying cautions from the opposition and
near Sakos Nabobi Amabatma was nominated Honorable John Darko, lawyer ni, or a massive Yanima, she was swami about 2 pesos when I cast him up for the mother of Poneba, Amamra, and Wo Answers, or Temika, or ever watch out pay Eba, big judgment on Adom TV. Honorable John Darko.
Hello, I can hear you, Major.
Yeah, no more here. Yes, so yeah, Miantia challenge bay and not a war at this tribunal bill 2026 in Tia. A man, the minority working out and run.
Yeah, Medasa. Minya, when you say, Yamra, say, HTC, Bibia, Exio Memonia. As my friend say, no bonnet, it's say, I am ready to no bonnet. You see, I am ready to no bonnet. I'm very questionable and said, dear ma, Anna, Ebe, Ewo, the marrying one cassa. A dear na court system here, who a like I'm very so more corrected. You wish I was say a cases be or a child court. Almost see about 3,000 cases a case court. Almost say court no and some court. Everything on the tribunals do about court because there has to be a reason for bringing a law to a court. The memorandum should explain the basis. What kind of defect is the law seeking to correct? And also what kind of mischief is the law seeking to
If you look at this bill, I do more can you say the bear case ever contempt. So we told them, say a person case called in terms of the current structure. No, every time you have one case you contempt. If one, you increase the number of courts we have in the country. The previous administration, and now that case is actual court. Therefore, I say case there might be as well now couldn't claim, but in now high court. And I could for about say, Emma, but be a district be in your court for strong constituency bureau. Tell me, CC bureau, Oko, Tafo, Oko, Quadaso. This would be a court to have, but my cases, and you know, the could do the main court. Okay. There were district courts and circuit courts built across the length of the country. That was to be sure said the courts are not loaded with cases. Not so active. And then we almost see cases maybe who are a child. And they can say, well, if you are a child, they with me I about constitution said, and they move with more than 24 hours economy be abba. More can say court one and a bit not evening court, the afternoon court. And if you make sure that system is also carried across the entire judicial structure. It is a Tamalukrana about day court, afternoon court, and evening court. A bit me Abuama cases yet intended because one of the provisions in the bill they say there will be day by day, a day-to-day setting, which means that criminal trials, you can do that for the current structure. There's nothing in the current structure that prevents courts to adjourn case to the following day. There's nothing against that system. If you want to do day by day sitting and this current structure, it can be done. So you ask yourself, what exactly are they going to do? Then their argument is that, well, the constitution says justice emanates from the people, and it's in the tribunal system. Lawyers, they call them the people of Ghana. A point that's also defeated because in the current structure, we have a system where the people are allowed to go into to be part of the judicial structure. They are a criminal trial. They are sent to jury trial. A jury trial, no. Before and if one country improve the jury trial, in the current structure, the jury trials are done only during criminal trials when there is we are doing murder trials. Okay. In one country, we have a situation where the jury trial will be extended across the length and breadth of the judicial system. Because in America, in civil cases, they do jury trial. In criminal cases, they do jury trial. So we can also do the same thing. All the things we are asking the tribunal to do, we can have them in the current structure. So you ask yourself, if it ain't broken, why are you fixing it? What exactly are you fixing? I didn't see, I don't know, you're quite sitting now. Yet you can't say a particular provision in the bill, section 4, the establishment of the tribunal. I say, I just more can say, so we ask ourselves, then why are we here? And they tell you that they have the numbers. Now, we have to understand that elections have consequences. It can be one thing. So you want to use it to persecute their political opponents.
The minority, more suspicion be about setting up these tribunals by the government.
The history of tribunals in this country says it all. You and I know. They said the NDC, NDC, the issue tribunal, a boy, a man, and my asema, a one kind, Makola, Kumasi, Kedia, and the Chakra. So don't ask me that there was specific problem.
Okay, but sir, we share another PNDC in the 1980s. Yeah, not tribunal, it cannot operate in the same sphere when we operating under the 1992 Constitution.
You say the current strategy say so again on person me do person me say obefa obi a judges never transfer tribunal and judges never transfer the chairman of the tribunal will be a lawyer Nika Crab waiting high project.
Okay.
At you mean I can Umunya lawyers cry no back of them. Now when your liberties are at stake, no be a on your lawyer, one name acquire fast evidence. Every time I say on neighbor was about Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, but Friday was maybe you found good deal. You do good deal. That's the whole say. Your liberties have been restrained like that. What now do we say? Asima yeke, why do we do this to ourselves? Your judges say, and they will move here a juma. Your lawyers say, yet hundreds of them. I perceive a train Momo High Court, on betting your court, and I say, what district and second to betting your court a juma. Why do we insist, say, you pay judges near Pumu Munye? One law class that why do we want to?
Are we saying the setting up of a tribunal illegal?
We are not saying, because of course it has its traces in the constitution. But look, even in the current constitution, and by we know the constitutional review committee what here, I can say I will say your policy now a year tribunal a kasa ye seno na nenso ye tugu. They have said that. He said the ghost of this should be cremated. The bones of tribunal should be cremated. A year you are a year at times ne penso. Or no so at the constitutional review, the same constitutional review committee, no, almost so can say the tribunal should be abolished from our constitution. And you be this in nobody the same. Meaning they do the same, but clearly it tells you say a NDC phone qua and no matter what you say tribunal idea you may be here no man the constitutional review committees appointed by Ono Mahama and we all have come to one and only one conclusion: that there is no reason for us to set up this body, and that it should be removed.
Do you agree, sir? The setting up of these tribunals, some of our cases are a our court at me contented.
The current structure. I've told you. So the current structure can accommodate what they are talking about. There is nothing you are going to do. The current legal framework and as a current court structure. And I don't believe that is to make sure the case is becoming. But I've explained to you, we can create more courts in the current structure. You can employ more judges in the current structure. You can ask the current structure to sit day by day. What exactly are they doing here?
Do you suspect our traditional court delays some of government prosecution of former government appointees and about way just to fast track the prosecution and maybe detention and jailing of some government officials if it's my money?
Oh, I don't know which case is being delayed. The court structure na no na na wo kwa ema bafu bond mu case is plenty of the case course wa ema ADC ba power onwa finance minister any the Bank of Ghana any people be na court structure no current court structure e do masem how many years if we oba pa we be twa sa case name NDP didn't complain that case is na because we believe that justice here it should be done even though expeditiously, but it should be done in such a way that nobody's liberty will be taken without due process. And if they are going through due process, we allow it.
Honorable John the majority chief whip. Honestly, I'm renaming Honorable Roxton Nelson, the Fiamma Paul, Leader, good morning.
Good morning, Michiamu, any for none of it.
A tear for just so that was say. Dear money is so special and at this time and age, we still need to have tribunal court.
Because the Constitution says so.
Say here tribunal court.
Say here Constitution and say we shall establish a tribunal court. And the tribunal courts have been in existence for 12 years when this Constitution came into effect.
Okay.
From January 1993. In fact, when the Constitution was launched in January 1993, the Constitution approved 1992, and the Republic was launched from January 1993.
Yeah.
The tribunal courts were in existence as part of our new constitutional dispensation. In December of 1993, government went back to Parliament and actually added civil jurisdiction at the circuit tribunals. First, now you're only criminal jurisdiction. And from December, let's say January 1994, up to sometime in 2002, December, now circuit tribunals, they were handling both criminal cases and civil cases. Then we had district tribunals. Then we had regional tribunals. MPP are mined by a more tribunal, no more tribunal, dear. Not just so they came to abrogate it. But what kind of constitution, if you go to the interpretation section, a court of competent jurisdiction is defined as a court including a tribunal. Under Article 126, any Article 124, I believe, we are mandated to establish regional tribunals. And Mr. Argentina, we have refused to observe that constitutional provision. In fact, John Dark was my classmate, me in the V school. We are not just friends, we are like brothers. In V school, I started practice, me Kaipa, late 2010, not early 2010. We had a regional tribunal at Onim Nkrumah Mausoleum, Kwame Nkrumah.
Okay, yeah.
The Chihono. Then I think Kwame Nkrumah Mausoleum based in Power Hall. There's a building there. It was housing the regional tribunal. I was appearing before regional tribunal in that building. We had some criminal cases. I think it was robbery. So we were the lawyers for the accused persons at the time. Justice Wilson was the judge. And some of the tribunal judges at the time, they have subsequently were appointed as high court judges. So it was Chief Justice Georgina Wood who phased out the tribunal, the regional tribunal system. Didn't continue with them. Just like that. Even though the Constitution says we have to create them, they just decided not to respect that part of the Constitution.
Okay.
But when you speak of the lower tribunals, which is the circuit tribunals and the district tribunals, it was the Attorney General at the time, later President Nana Akufo-Addo, who was the Attorney General, who brought a bill to Parliament to repeal the sections of the Courts Act now recognizing circuit tribunal and district tribunals as part of the lower courts.
Okay.
So he reformed the lower courts and converted the district tribunals into district courts and also established what they call the family courts and made the circuit tribunals now circuit courts who had always been in existence as part of the regular courts and then the circuit tribunal. So we abrogated one half of the circuit justice administration system. So if you read the Courts Amendment Act 2002, Act 620, in fact, the memorandum accompanying that bill will actually tell you this, that it was to reform the lower courts and repeal provisions in the Substantive Court Act, which is Act 459, just to take away or eliminate the tribunals from our lower courts. But the tribunals have always existed at the regional level. And you see, Ukamwea, I'm say, and I'm say, but it is the law. You may not like something, but the Constitution says it should be there. Can you therefore disregard it?
Yeah, traditional court no delay cases or more and sakasel met me asset on it na fee say you be here as a tribal and a saba bag
about complementing the traditional court in the
Exactly, because you see, what it means is that even if we start with only the district tribunals, even if we start with only the district tribunals, it means we are going to add 261 district tribunals immediately, because when the law says you must set it up, you have to.
Okay.
And when you establish 261 additional courts, you are going to employ the judicial service will therefore employ more people like registrars, court clerks, court interpreters, all the staffers that will make the courts work. So when you do that, it means in my district like this, like Southline, there were only one district court, which is at Peki. So when you create an additional district court, which is the district tribunal, it means we are going to have 2 courts. So all the cases from the district may not be going to only the Peki district court. Some will be going before the district tribunal, especially the criminal ones.
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
So we'll have more courts to be able to handle the workload that is already burying the regular courts under pressure.
Amanfo bi wo adwempo bi say.
Okay. And all some of the judicial reports Omudiba Parliament every year Omubi Pesca. It's about the workload.
Okay.
It's about the fact that now Ghanaians in fact the population has also exploded from 2000, the year 2000, 26 years later.
Yeah.
Ghana's population has doubled. We used to be 15, 16 million. Now we are in excess of 35 million. And you cannot have the same number of courts handling the same number of people. I agree, sir. Under President Akufo-Addo, he had plans to build additional, additional 100 and something courts. But over Kono, he couldn't complete them.
Okay.
Plus accommodation. He couldn't complete them. So we are completing the accommodations. We are also completing the courts. But they are still not sufficient.
Okay. Adom, how will you respond to this as majority chief whip? Everyone say, as NDC fee said the traditional court no, M1 won't be prosecuting and jailing former government appointees under Nana Akufo-Addo Asabremo Ejina court. It will feel said this traditional court no bet me abeboa abemodwuma e de abamontentem.
Okay. Okay. Every other judicial report, judicial service report on Mudiba Parliament. So almost visa for reforms, for instance, introduction of computer, BBS, Sanomana. What they base it on is the fact that the processes of adjudication of cases, it's slow.
Okay.
It's slow. In fact, from the inception of the Fourth Republic, judicial service reports via Mudiba Parliament, where they talk about how slow the administration of justice is. And then they give you the instances. So as part of the reforms, we are introducing IT, computerization, e-justice. Also, we have e-justice.
Yeah.
Even now, Mr. John, we file cases without necessarily going to the courts. You file, once they receive the process in the email, they print it, then the time of printing is noted on it, then that's all. But it is not sufficient. Because if you don't add to the institutions, but the cases continue to multiply, then you'll be marking time even though you are making reforms. And there's a need to create additional courts. Now, the Chief Justice recently, by what we call a practice direction, has created specialized high courts to deal with galamsey cases, to deal with money laundering cases, to deal with some other environmental or cases concerning serious environmental offenses. Okay. But the issue is that it is not all those cases that will go to the High Court. So at the American. Hello? And then all those cases and call High Court directly. A lot of them, it must go before the lower courts. So it's important that we set up the district tribunals to handle those cases that will be going before the lower court.
So, Honorable John Darko, a colleague, raised this question, said they have a challenge with the composition of our tribunal court. Then, two, the question two is, how different will this tribunal court ever setting up in 2026 from the tribunal court we had in 1980 under a PNDC era? Because Omeki reference to say in 1980, Sabra tribunal so Sabra near Mamma, my fees of my idea and Ghana Mamra Ebuebrano, Yao possible Yasi Emma, so they have that fear same. And she has sacrificed 1980.
Okay. Now, they raised this issue in Parliament, not even in Parliament. They've been raising this issue all the time when they had the opportunity.
Okay.
So we have had a famous lawyer and text writer, young lawyer Sani Ekano. Your friend is Bimpom Buta. Bimpom Buta in his book, the development of the Supreme Court in Ghana's constitutional and judicial development, Okan page 28, he took trouble to explain this matter. Say, the name of the court may be tribunal anyway, but the structure, composition, regulations, even the rules of the Juma and the PNDC were markedly different from the rules, the structure, and the procedure of the public tribunal system under the Constitution in 1992.
Okay.
And this thing is in the law. What kind of court actor? It provides the procedure under which the tribunals will work, which is Act 30, especially for criminal cases. For civil cases, they do CI 47. And yet my brother John Daku, my classmate, I'm in graduate here, my classmate, he will go and say that the procedure before the tribunal court will be as the procedure before tribunal court in 1980. When he knows that the procedure before the tribunal court will be in accordance with the procedure, the criminal procedure provided under Act 30. When he knows that if there is a civil matter, it will be CI 47.
Okay. So,
but he wants to play mischief.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So he wants to say that the tribunal, the public tribunal system manned by teachers and sometimes farmers in 1980 or 1981 or 1982 will be the same procedure that will be operating before the court in 2020. I've told them, sir, me catch from sir.
Okay.
At least, even if that is what you perceive, read the law. The new bill that has come, at least read the provisions under it. Can you?
Honorable John Darko, so your colleague, the FEMAPO, provided a solution to a question your fear. As when you read the bill, you're more passing and run now. Oh, Honorable John Darko, echo. Okay. So, I'm we assess your court extra. Other than the previous government, I shall say, be a young completely, young Fabi and McCann, rather than setting up a different offices to deal with our justice system.
Good. So the Nana Kufuor is here, won't see here twice or no.
Okay.
That will also be rolled out when they are ready.
Okay.
Do you understand? Nobody is. In fact, we are not stopping. Last year we allocated budget for it in 2025. 2026 we again allocated budget. Okay, Mami Chirebuye, and your creation of court, a building of courthouses. So what did they make?
Okay.
You see court are dying. And yet dying a court. You say, oh, perceive, who critique court, now perceive court in this city, as who see dying my court. No.
Sure.
And now see some courthouses. And no when to me, to us. And you are dying now. Court ever function.
Okay.
And when just say, answer, you critique, see a critic court account, their courts are what is here. It's to be critique.
That's it.
They can only have a point. Say, Omo say, tribunal court na ye create no enimrem. So at the America, it's not backed by the Constitution. It's also not backed by the Court Act. And any ankamino be ya dream. But everything we are doing is backed by the Constitution. It's also backed by the Court Act.
But as Cesar Lopez Waje Brenania actually Majority Chief Whip Honorable Roxy Nelson Eche da Fiabapo and I'm just saying no Eche and Kumono 7 Casabaja 4 at National together was as now Ali Magansua the computer man. Hey, that's a put you call a crevia. The incoming national organizer.
Go heaven.
I'm now.
I was me. I don't know.
Yeah. Said it's that yeah.
I mean yeah.
Yeah, now I say about to airport. Better yeah, by see. Can I see me say when you bring out chair Belgium. But if I reach them, they can come from 0531 02979 0531 02975. Here for Dean Baby. Only message in free bar account. Now, I can say, and then 6 p.m. Trinity Baptist Church, UK, Croydon. Yeah, the choral concert, bro. The choral concert, bro. A theme here, exultant in praises. One ever be a Ave Maria, Ghanaian Color Choir, London Ghana SDA Church Choir, NCC, TBC Children's Choir, Ghana Methodist Fellowship Choir, and a TBCC. Temperature 6 p.m. More London, especially when Croydon in important body. Yena yanko na yanko praise yanko pon choral concert at Oasis Choral London. One may say at the Cassia Pa. Here we come. Man to God.
I say, Yanko one year in a year. Brooklyn West. I was see at the beginning of the year. Okay, say, may a pronouncement be or her, say, Brooklyn West. Yenya the needed supporter on my tomato consumption.
Yeah.
Brooklyn West between ama between 20 and 25%.
Yeah.
That is close to about 200 metric tons. And Yankupon afi any edini. And the Kadosi Amakwasi say afi we said the tomato ason e wo Brooklyn West no. Ekuafo na ani age papa you will bumper harvest. Okay. Last year production more than doubled. Okay. As many as 3,000 farmers are registered to Mudin said dry season almost a baby uremu. Me fa kwanya so abo agric minister abaso. Wa sha irrigation systems are Brooklyn West. In fact, say contractors was 4 different locations. In fact,
Brooklyn
West.
Okay.
Yeah, about 8 and a year strategic locations. Okay. Yeah, all year round.
Okay.
I feel rainy season the and American yeah double production.
Okay. Now you double production for 2025 there.
For 2025, yeah double production. And we are dry season Monaco. Yeah.
Irrigation
na fetenta contractors wo ho mo ye irrigation system.
Okay.
Pruso omo wo ho mo ye adwuma. Gene omo ye adwuma ena koraso.
Okay.
There are additional 4 locations. Amomaso, Mantukwa, Botokrum, and other places. And also here say ebeba on board. Yankupo ya Adom
fetchemana tomatoes. I will say a bank and some na a free factory no.
Akwasi
if amount man for be one crime so air complaints say tomato bo one crime. I was so pa.
Akwasi na make demand no said ye nyina ye nim no e wo soro.
Sure.
Nyankopon said the medical yaka no. A lot of other places Akumadan money, other places omonzu produce na fi obon to me am level Brooklyn West akono nti akoye say this year Brooklyn West na the hub. Okay. And I know say huge quantities are coming. Now we are last weekend box back VIP buy abeduru and because ye beda nyankopon ase na binim se dry season yes saying to me wura
okay
to me half of the year no major season now it will go a long way na the year say ya hwe anim ne se variety ye cobra pato na eno eso bebre no
e ma ye ko Burkina Faso
e ba ye ko no seats no ebo eden
okay
enti omuntumi enue no in large quantities ye besre minim se underfeed Ghana said the agric minister ogusu a all hwese in fact wakase by 2028 na yentumi stop importation kurana na ya reduce no drastically and
it's importation of tomatoes
okay. And it's firmly on course and Brekum West show great leadership in that direction dey go see the better nyankopon azena go see na watwe we nso nyankopon ne edi ni ye amankokwa Messiah commission 6-unit classroom block. And to buy Messiah commission toilet. So within a week. And in fact, that brings to 25 physical projects within 1 year. Yeah, commission, including boreholes. By the end of 2026, we are looking at about 40 major physical projects. Started. Legacy in count. There are about 3 legacies and fan count legacies. But yeah, start completely within a year. Okay, 25. And Yankupon Tiasi. Ali, you better hit 40.
Oh, we are so.
Ali,
organize
that no Chasuna Mania campaign now.
Yes,
Chasuna Yamua, my own way organizer, no Miniano. Miniano, Minimza, bet me. Concentrate. Concentrate.
Yes. Was my picture? I baby this year. See, 2 people. I question officers. Jamia Adoma. Be kwaba be meaning na me be tinkwa. Monia ale mega member for national organizer. I think member mona so. I was my serving the sugar. Ajuma me minister o Dr. Kafo.
Okay.
Politics the warrior come on.
Okay.
Sa credit a wo be dia come my Greek minister dey nyina ya wa kope. Nye tomato factory ya kufa de kwesi ya. Kan tu nka mo medua no. Kana kre ade amabrekum man na ne age amande obi a go into the tomato production Adom no because ya kufa de kwesi factory.
Oh, it's a tomato factory.
Obrekum. E no ni. Okay, besides on Kado, all the anchor.
This is national television. Your tomato factory. Your tomato factory. That was Domfete in Brekum West.
Okay,
and yet Nana Adudankwa, individual. Where the Africa, Nana, Nana Yabuahen.
Okay.
Factory.
One of the policies of
let me put on record.
One district, one factory.
All say no na ama fee bumper yabano. As we speak currently, it is not in operation. In fact, since 2024, a new operation about. We are looking to revamp. Amana be fully operational. Said the beya. Yes, a beya operational. But I want to set the records. Focus on the organizer. Focus on the organizer. You have my support. You have my support. I'm a royal. Now you can't. Now who discredit here? Who discredit here?
I'm only saying that.
Before Brekum West, they are watching you.
Is that a threat?
Next threat. Next threat.
I think that is it. You have credit to my own credit is due.
Okay.
Akufo-Addo buy and Akufo-Addo one district one factory. And through that the Kwesi factory war Brekum West.
Okay.
And I'm a farmers' participation in tomato.
About interest in Ecostro.
Okay. Let's get it.
Okay.
Let's get it right.
Okay.
And yeah, I feed Ghana, why Ghana beer.
That's also a fact. Say a buying so a more demo in insurance. Say we are for them. You can be ourselves.
Again, I'm for Kubo and for
fertilizers are bankwa. See, America say 1,500 baht. That just last week.
Better.
Oh no, I want to be
fertilizer. More than that.
No. fertilizer ton na moton we ye de check irrigation ye de see dry season
o ka ma ye do me ka
dry season asem na ye
Ali mami she o ka bo harvest the dry season
Ali mami she we ask every one of
the tribunal bill 2026 finally passed minority walkout.
Yeah. My say what they need here, what do you need the tribunals for? That's the question you should ask. Osha memorandum of the bill and accommodate the bill to parliament and now can. The reason they are saying is that the entire here tribunal is a one. You have justice delivery accessible. 2, workload do not our traditional court no so no. Eso beti. And 3, you bit my fast track court processes. I mean, so was also with this problem. Creation of tribunals. It's a problem we now solve. You don't need tribunals. What you need are expansion of the judicial service. That's all. In terms that's all the media rocks in Ekasa. What you two must say Akufo-Addo was building courts. Problem I always see and they say we need more courts. We need more judges. But I need more tribunals. You see, tribunals, you know, the remnant of this military, na 1992 constitution, I be shame. Now the tribunals, they are Ghana for. You won't bring it back. You need. Roxy Casanoka say if it criminal case they use Act 30. If a civil case they use CR47. I agree with him. But man who say almost the timelines about Act no. I just say that justice delivery should be within 40 days. How can you tell me that justice delivery in this country within 40 days? Or more time so pa. Yeah, I assembly. What I see is that already, you know what some judges are doing in this country. Say a TikToker say, "Okudi, most say TikToker okudi mampanyine mahamate." Enunti onko dem wenye. Wakudi mahamate mo.
Can't sum up to mampani so enya nokure.
Enya mamele can't say no. The woman re-echoed what a pastor said. Okay, Papa go woo. Ne dino.
Yeah.
And on the say, Osie na 32 at the NDC. And on the class site with us so. What is that? Obo chairman din. Say a payenko bisa chairman se dunketia. Then a TikToker took it, re-echoed it, and okay can answer him.
But when him say Fatima as a lawyer, sharing of fake news contravenes the Electronic Act. So the fact that you're not kind, but reproducing the fake news, also makes you liable.
No. Go and read the act very well.
Okay.
Not just the sharing.
Okay.
Go and read the act well. It took the sharing of the make liable. It's not to know. Read it. Read Act 29. That was it's not true. With the intention to cause something, that's the problem. The woman was building a point. Maybe I may slide because it's a lady about the way the insulter or the call the president. Which for me, I don't tolerate insult. However, obi do atema any criminal offense in this country. So them say, obi do atema any criminal offense in this country. However, we had a judge. What the man no, lady no, ako 1 year. So people who are skeptical say these tribunals are being set up just for political opponents. And I agree with them. And I agree. But I saw the traditional court you cry no. The judges in the binu beya. Okay, judge bi okoko to animal farm. Okoko to very say Idi Amin num nyina. Okay. I judge you in this country. So if the same event is administration is setting up a tribunal, it tells you the direction they want to go. And to me, there, all the argument they are making, the solution is not setting up this tribunal and a kaye near my eba. But Mr. Mampayin Mahama. Sorry, very good. Another argument they are making is it's an imperative in the Constitution, per Article 126.
Sure.
It's an imperative of the Constitution. Meaning, go the Constitution. I said, there shall plenty in this country. And come boy, nipa, as a term, how many years did it take us to even do free education? By the Constitution, every stage is free education. How many years? You go for the Roma in KKR. Even as you speak, education is not accessible. Go to some country, basic education. It's not accessible in this country. But I know that Shai talks about say court now for political opponent to court there. And you see
a political opponent.
Oh, that is agenda. And do you know why that? Do you know why? Because they think say President Mohammed's bill now was rector was one that was a Supreme Court. So go through, people are going to agitate. Oh, now when you enter term, we say rate. When you will be issue rate at others.
President Kandanda, and I can't twice say he's not interested in the third term.
Yes,
and I want to.
Yes,
want to.
Yes, sir.
Separate Mama in a ninja third term.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Want to.
Oh, Jaisa.
Want to, Ali.
Now the president, as a president, Makanya na Ujidi. President, as about Kenya na Ujidi. Obi Obeka say, oh no, I Obama 24-hour economy. And then I see. President Kenya na Ujidi. They know for the optics. Rates in the Supreme Court. It's been sponsored by NDC. How about Mampayin Mahama?
Who evidence?
Evidence being
a lawyer in good standing.
Evidence being a preview.
Somebody
no,
like
evidence
Ken Crunchy as a private legal practitioner. What decided to go Supreme Court, I could stick it for interpretation of a certain part of our act.
I can focus and be. Best I say no dancing where you catch them no be there dance. So this idea. This same Ken Crunchy is the person he was in the court to be hot President Mohamed can come.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what has changed? What has changed? What to make Ken Crunchy today change his own position? So that's it. So all the shenanigans going on is that President Mahama is going for a third term. One was a defense of the Supreme Court. Then I can say about agitations will come. Now let's set up tribunal. We'll be a rough be Papa 40 days, do 40 days, you start jailing. But you see, this democracy. This is a democracy that we are building. Adema, come on, work or surpass the Pabitima Canasem. Nipa Bitima Canasem. It was a stenter, Nipa intimate Canasema. Charlie, can we say we are sitting on a time bomb? Edge boomer, no politician is safe. Both of these MPP, and we have presidents in this country. So when him said, I tell my Rollins, a fair school. Now your politicians be quite normal for a time to motive you. Or what she be na Bobby to Kumbe. So him say, enti your best say, you know, even particularly the judges. I the judges are my being say they are bound with baby no they will allow you to go through. Say Obi Mame, so what did Mampayin Temiti? Because I don't even believe that say also or publish false news. What about the software now? One more medical cars. I said, why is the person working free? Into when I hear the source, not me say work as same way. Into my general edge, I build a point. I say, me general the bed point to me. The water chimney, Marco Shawanya. Now, so from ONDC in Interior and the Wajan. So if people I say, oh, you're a judge, you should be both. I say, a judge is able to say, when the prosecutor breaks some cases, it tells them as a case where they get it's not in my court. Throw it away.
That's or no share or no judge no share evidence before it.
Any evidence.
Wait me up.
Any evidence. Any evidence.
If says about the for now for soften armor.
judge no based on what obetimi aka
men case of officer for bra but obetimi true now say no case wey I want to take it in my court. You have some judges who have done that in this country.
Illegal.
Or might be said
judgment is illegal.
Judgment
illegal.
And trust me,
but illegal.
Me say and trust me.
This on a moral ground.
Moral and trust me because there's nowhere in our laws are obi do obi atema a criminal offense. Okay. And me here and you say be on prepare a charge sheet charge sheet I don't review. It's up to the judge to tell you say this charge sheet now or the about court.
Okay.
What is it? It's conformity with the law. And it will be back. Now we prepare charge sheet now if you insult or the come Mampani Mahamantino. You for being caught a year for insulting the president. If the president thinks strongly or scandalizer, the options are there. Okay,
so Pepper, what's the Ghana Police Service for issue statement on the conviction of the lady? Please secure conviction of Camilla Al-Hassan for offensive conduct. The Ghana Police Service has secured the conviction and sentencing of Camilla Al-Hassan, 43, to 1 year imprisonment with hard labor by the Accra Circuit Court for offensive conduct following the publication of offensive and abusive content on social media, targeting the President of the Republic, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, and the First Lady, Mrs. Lordina Mahama. The convict was arrested on 9 July 2026 through an intelligence-led operation after police intercepted a TikTok video in which she made offensive, insulting, and derogatory remarks against the President and the First Lady, including threats against their lives and false allegations concerning the President's private life. The statements were considered capable of disturbing public peace and undermining national cohesion.
Can you imagine?
Following investigations, convict Camilla Al-Hassan was charged with offensive conduct and false communication and put before the Accra Circuit Court. Although sentence was initially deferred following a claim that she was pregnant, a medical examination conducted at the police hospital confirmed that she was not pregnant. On 16 July 2026, the court sentenced her to 1 year imprisonment with hard labor.
Let's
look at offenses.
Their own statement. Their own statement, though. If somebody abuses you, and a criminal offense.
So let's look at the offense.
Even their statement does not support the very charge they sent to court.
Threat against the lives of the President and the First Lady.
What was the threat? It's not about the threat, too. Hey, Mama can show her. If you read the threat, the law says that apart from CBA, Makajo said, you have the capability to execute that threat. And the man said, Akwakito be Shamwa. What I say? No, so Alemaiga, oh, Minyawa Miku. Akwakito, there's no way of it to my ISRDM. As a court, how will you say that because they issued a verbal says without having the capability to carry out that threat? Why executive?
Camilla now only the capability to carry out.
How can this Camilla girl threaten Pompey Mahama? And you're talking about the president of the country. President of the country. Camilla.
You need to come the flower girl come again be anoko come na bomb shame.
I know we are not also I know Obi the lady was a decoy. Tell you the lady was an agent of somebody. I guess be me person me harm.
Okay.
I want to harm you.
Yeah.
What I say I have the capability to harm you.
Yeah.
But the operation no na me go through somebody
different element.
Any different thing. But he's saying for example Obi issue as Camilla we say or threaten Mampani Mahama.
Camilla Al-Hassan,
a TikToker,
43-year-old lady.
Oh, Jaisa. You see, Mama, we shouldn't ridicule our justice system. Like, Stuttgart, Mama, I'm glad Alex Secretary said something. Haruna too has recorded, and the Babin has recorded. Apart from say democracy, you mean government for forever, and you come to a position you want to talk. When you're in opposition, your only two is the talking. And I'm a boy. Kasa mukan wukrumha. Say we apply the same standard. Game become Mampani Mahama go them.
Okay.
And I'm a boy. And the best and this for the pneumonia just say they are jailing. If you know say opposition you'll be talking, be worried.
Okay.
Be very worried about what is going on because people
or production organizer.
People also pay you the same coin.
But I say, Stugat.
Because Wakasa 21 minutes.
David,
20. I
was read the statement.
I was yes. The Edu baby a mesre. Minuane say Ghana ha ma politics as a bibia. Okay. Because you know my position as a journalist, freedom of speech. I'm a very strong, fierce advocate. But at the same time, I am a type 2 for say kasa emfasun ma kasa e de yebekwa amanie mu no yentwen ho free nwagosi o start year adwuma yi watwa beye over beye o kweka ko beye 20 years ne ade ni menyi ni se obi kura si wo de wa court for defamation da enti ubetumi aye adwuma but akwasi gbanwu se o sekan no nso ye sekan ya no enam ye nkrante twa wachi a. But most of the time we be trying na utwa kwan pass until ebesre. This is general advice to genuine more communicators ne nso ntwofo. Say yenhwe yekasa mu ye. Ye kan kwasi emra wo hot say de na ubusa na ode wada no sometimes we issue threat it does not necessarily mean say we na be carry but ade wo ye no they are conducive to breach of the peace. And as a bit to me incite you be what take action. Okay. So some of these things, much as personally, may you be a me favor. We should be very mindful.
Honorable. Liability is personal.
I refer to Electronic Communication Act. Social media normal. Oh yeah, idea. 76(1). Act 775 2008. It says clearly a person who by means of electronic communication service knowingly sends a communication which is false or misleading or to prejudice efficiency of life-saving service or to endanger safety of any person and blah 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 blah.
So tell us how that support the child sent to court.
Ali, 21 years, I didn't intervene.
Okay.
And 76(2) is so telling. I could say, listen well. A person is taken to know that the communication is false or misleading if that person did not take reasonable steps to find out whether the communication was false, misleading, reckless, or fraudulent. The actually say ebia ye mema ota something ma forward the idea ma unya ya na wa forward the call social media. That does not absorb you from culpability. Say nyewo na water because the law says that who communicating you should take reasonable steps to find out whether the communication was false, whether it was misleading, whether it was reckless, whether it was fraudulent. And you want to take those reasonable steps. Now communicate kwa would have because you have dealt with that. Let me come to the substantive issue. Substantive issue on the Tribunal Bill 2026 and you pass few minutes after midnight. That was around after 12 a.m. It was a long sitting and about 12 hours. And that probably gives some meaning and effect to President Mahama 24-hour economy. No, to say Juma Parliament that was Juma Mekai Gold Board Bill yetoso up to 3 a.m. almost 19 hours na Juma. And Parliament Juma Juma. Now quickly let me deal with two issues. Minia Ali Maiga raise. You know can be busy. Say tribunal banner CM for 40 days, 42 days, and dealing with the matter expeditiously. Case being a bit 42 days. Because he said, yeah, and judicial guidelines. The woman said the almighty presidential petition should be resolved within 42 days. Mewa.
Yeah.
They are and for me, the biggest and most complicated case as of mine, you be dealing with. Two, Akwasi, de ekwe nyina no de na akofa we aba ye de NDC manifesto promise to nchenya yet your mu ye de oman constitution ne bu oman no na constitution no no ma bi wo ha o ka se parliament ana president ana duty bearer ebetumi aye na ye wo ebi nso wo a eye nhye se esese oye ebi to say article 126(1) of the 1992 constitution says the judiciary shall consist of the superior courts of judicature comprising the Supreme Court, the Court of Appeal, the High Court and regional tribunals. Such lower courts, and again, then be such lower courts or tribunals as Parliament may by law establish. Now, Article 142(1) or say there shall be established in each region, there shall of Ghana such tribunals, regional tribunals, as the Chief Justice may determine. So there shall is imperative. Enti your constitution ye won no ma bi wo ho a ehyemu se ye na bia ye nya ho aka de ne ade enti but obi de court kofo so man no say ye nya esese o implement and obi de ko say ropa ye implement it was ruled in favor say e was say ya anamongu akwan mu a electoral commission ehwe say daachin bia no Ghana fo e ama no ne beto aba enti enye obi pe sese bi oda sore ne ya o say oba be kriti eye regional and district tribunals ade a eye oman no constitution emrabatan no ene hyesa na kwasi sede na o trivialize tribunal say sebi tribunals no mo be ye adwuma emfa mra na enye adwuma no 142 eye 4 or say a person shall not be appointed to be the chairman of a regional tribunal unless he is qualified to be appointed a justice of the High Court. And this is a tribunal, no, yes,
the chairman of the tribunal.
Good, the chairman of the tribunal. So, you'll be to say High Court judge. So, be the qualification the same. High Court to me appoint to my win to me a tribunal. Okay. And no, you're totally different from Fatoto. PNDC mrehone a revolution tribunals a woka no enti mete minuamo asidru baby say yedru amanfo so na yakai ya anom revolution time bia ba komienu bi antwa yie na ehunahunu omo a sabre no enye parliament na kwotena as create that tribunal enti a different creature from eneya ye wo democratic dispensation a parliament na memra kwan so a creative body, they may all be tribunals. But enye adekro enunti enanami busa minu say of say the advanced democracies, United States, there are tribunals. UK, there are tribunals. And the tribunals itself no enya de bone. Na mom kwanya tribunal no be fa so ye adwuma e de betumi kan the same thing akwasi ye established court or high court ne ade. Enu bi ne de sisi a wokan nipa anko court enko complain say wanya justice e wo high court enu ntina se ye condemn say high court enya de papa na enti mesre se ye mamra no nya adwuma na ye create tribunal ye president assent na ye give ye man effect na ye adwuma na etiatia manfo fa ahodie so a eno no de ye nyina be sori montin so kura ye betiasi esane sa dia emfa tentrene emananya de so enra his lordship justice Tukuba enra wankasa justices biblo ho a he would rather call them injustices enra tie in speech right honorable DF and lecture I was there o see enne ye justice o see kan yakwa be we say ye nim de edukure wo 275 get odibedu ho yes na onim de o say he finds it difficult to call some judges justices. Yeah. But he would rather call them injustices, or injustice, not Udi Abeshano. So, and so say tribunal. And the tribunal itself, no, nya na administer justice no eye nipa na ebe ye mu adwuma no and the caliber of people at that time be a revolution time no and you know under revolution biano there are excesses eye different from when there are constitutional safeguards and democratic buffers and transparency and accountability intimacy say omunko mo akomanto omuyem na ye nhwe ma iye ntumi nto ayi de enra me di ho yaw kakra akwasi unim say I find it very difficult say may criticize the conduct of leadership whether majority or minority but enra close na ye twenso ntuntu nyina no mra no say anti regional tribunals majority see there be regional districts in yen delete at clause 4 no say yen delete there and I could see ade e wo ho ne say parliament unim say interesting ye mra ye about 80% in fact to 90% nearly no ye mra shebadwani e by consensus so ye ntwintonto ye nyina akobe nkuromu baako e bedru ntonto no na ye media e babon tinba most of your decisions are by consent the way it would do say to ba yeah to swaba
but him say Tracy wo ade nyina ho kwan enye nyina na fata ye
yeah
baby a ye wo as on mine do you think say this is a prominent thing that will have to take our attention as a nation
akwasi the woman say Ghana ha ubusa amanfo dodo na in fact Afro Barometer report survey say amanfo dodo na ni gidie we judicial system no adanya okay asem kodam court a konabra akwasi asase sem e kodam court me ya me ka kire obi amini no se bi meni obi nya asase sem ho amanso na ye 2 acres a me kwa me de kura me kwa wo ka chense for 1 acre na me for 1 yenya because abusu e twa asase amanso hu nyina obeba bewu na obeba bewu na ne na beto ase na onu awu na ye enti akwasi meba obusa question justice na a delay na encontem na mama for tribunal ebe count say district aye kan there are 261 districts you created district
the tribunal
no to deal with some of the cases
no kill the tribunal
it's one of
the establish more courts if the workload there let's establish more courts so we listen the
member of parliament
coming to do different
Emre Nimni member of the MPP National Communications team will pay National Organizer the Bro NPP am ko penu mada sa no pay sala ko betna
o bani se agwazi ko betna ko be mo assure rani
agwazi would I appreciate your impact on my election
but that's na me so ka dia me yama
because about dia no pay patonya bi apebi mamu hien papa ye be koda so hien bi ye pa nwenu ahye say tom ke bi am ka obi ono motor guinness bi ahwe the skin color crowd to improvement abem since you know mo endorse ye pa more targets or say we move ne bo no wo form e patria pebi that's why everybody is here Okay. Concomba culture planners ladies.
Tembe.
Wow. Your mema so dio. Bakuna. Okay. Ne kweba na bay. Wana mnene kasa.
Okay. Ya na ba.
Okay. Mote na bay.
Ya te na nra na jo.
Enu na ja muti koi.
Debi. Kel pa ya nya bada. Okay. Ya te ya che.
Okay. Tidi tire ma muti sa koi. Concomba culture planners ladies.
To kwa ngapiaro. Sa afi we ya 8 years.
Okay. Wow. Tidi ma muti ko no. Di ntina otie no so mo de be de ku a ejina for de.
Ekuo no ejina ho ma ekirefo.
Okay.
Nkwala ye wo mo foforo mo start be. Ekuo no ye tie e de twen sa nkwala no.
Okay.
Wase hu se mra ya drum ye. Ya ma no ya nhwani ye ekire omuntumi nkai omokrom ne ma.
Okay.
Nti ne se ye tie obi cross yi de. Ya ma na omo we ekire no ya mfa nsua omo.
Okay.
Na ya mfa nkyira omo. Se na ebe ya omo nyine da achi se ye ni wakra na. Enyira.
Okay. Okay, tu was a mode tete concomba for no matimi ate mo amamre.
Mo ate amamre na
ase. Eye se be your chire because mo kura mu ni hon mu a o metimi ato aso ba kokomba no. Akoso e kokomba. Etu one betimi adjoin sa ko we.
Ekuo obi abetumi adwane bi. Ebusua bi atumi be mu bi. Ne a ho ne se obi wo enchan e wo mo bebre wo. Eti se ekuo bibi hia wo ne obetumi akobo asa na bibi hia ono so owo nso a obetumi aba beboa. Enti no ekuo no ebusua bi atumi be mu bi. Ontumi nsakra obetumi aba bedwane. Because bibi tu ya na wo ne wo so betumi aye de aboa ye. Na ya nso ya wani ya bibi tu ebetumi aye de aboa.
Okay.
Nti ekuo no ebusua bi atumi be mu bi.
Ti obi person obe join ne Concomba culture planners ladies a. Wo number bi wo betumi afresh a number no.
Your number opa betumi.
Number be ya. Bo number no me.
Yenti. Ndema yenti. Okay. 059 766 07 35
Says number ni bi man fami
059 766 07
35 It will because a Concomba culture planners ladies am just say
yeah just say tembe
I said just say
yeah na wo say yeah man
yeah okay
boy who dey boy
Concomba culture planners ladies
tembe
Concomba culture planners ladies
tembe
Concomba culture planners ladies. Yanko, kagum.
Yeah.